Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, you all had yourselves a really good weekend. And of course, I'm sitting here on an absolutely gorgeous sunny day with a nice hot cup of coffee and a bunch of friends about to role play. And to continue our conversation we're having offline, what would you give for a freshly revived Leonard Nimoy? Hmm? I give a lot.
I'd give a Klondike bar.
Klondike bar, yeah, yeah. I remember those. I haven't eaten one of those in about 30 years. But there's a lot of stuff I had in about 30 years. Although I have to say, I occasionally get a box of Life cereal. I just got myself a box of Life cereal, two of the giant sized ones for $80. Yeah, that's no
Wow.
shit. Yeah. But anyway, I had it for a few nights in a row, and I started getting dizzy. American food's
Oh.
not good for you, dude.
No, not at all. But there is a lot of it. So
I guess, but my goodness gracious, dude. I don't know. Because I eat just kind of normal over here, but American food's so packed with just these crazy. I guess it must be corn syrups, I guess, because of you know, the
the
abundance of it.
corn,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's crazy too because like how much it's only like I think like a small percentage, if I recall correctly, of like the corn we make is actually the kind we eat. You know, um,
Yeah.
a
Well, that's
lot of
All of
it.
our
because it's a
all of our state's
subsidized
corn is
product.
feed crop. Yeah, our whole state's corn is feed crop. GOP.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is kind of ridiculous
Saying
because you
about
should not be
Leonard
feeding
Nimoy?
cows. Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. Yes.
He's saying leave the dead dead.
Wait, did you
Don't
just say we
you
shouldn't eat cows?
Yeah, that sounds like
you
something I would say.
don't
Yeah.
you ever read the Monkey's Paw?
No,
No,
I don't read
no,
very
never.
often.
I pretty stay away from that. I'm not a very good fortune teller, really, and monkeys don't pay well.
um, have you tried doing the poll in the chat feature?
I've done
Uh,
it. Yeah, I've done it before many
we
times.
we
Yeah,
should
I'm
do a
actually a
poll.
professional and modern and quite sophisticated. I know it's surprising. I'm 158, but
Wonderful. hmm
yeah.
We should do a poll in the chat on if we had the option. Would you reanimate Leonard Nimoy?
Oh yeah, of course. I don't have to ask the chat. The chat does what they're told.
Chester inferred that he was joined by his friends, which means I am his friend, so I've done something well.
Okay, fine. Yeah, yeah. That
You
was
can't take it back
rhetorical.
now, Chester.
Really.
It's
Nope,
it's
you
it's on
already said it.
YouTube. It's
We're
on the
friends now,
net.
It
Chester.
is. It is
There
officially
That means if
forever.
I ever
fine.
visit Japan, you could help provide lodging.
Oh my
But if it was
god!
between you and saving the life of a child on the floor on the road,
Nimoy.
Nimoy. Yeah, go Nimoy.
kill the big Nimoy.
There's plenty of people. There's only one Nimoy.
I want to apologize last week. It's not Mother's Day that last weekend. That's still 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I was kind of curious, but I
Mother's
figured
Day's
you'd
coming
figure it
up,
out eventually.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
It's coming up. And the interesting thing, since we were just kind of giving people a few minutes to come in, since all the little notifications are popping out. The thing that keeps them interesting to me is, of course, every year for quite a long time, when Father's Days come up, they just the I know they call themselves progressives, but they don't. They seem quite the opposite of that. But whatever. They just jump on. They hate Father's Day. We don't need no fathers. That thing. But
Because they
this
didn't
year
have
we
any.
saw something new. GOP. They're bashing Mother's Day now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, is
boy.
it because mothers are real women?
How dare they?
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, that's a new thing. That's new. That's a great idea. You go get it. Yeah.
I,
You know what I
I, I
heard
vote
in the
that we change Trans Day to Mutilated Humans Day.
Well, yeah, it's the same, isn't it? But and to be fair, not all those people are making noise anyway. It is a smaller group.
I
But
agree.
you know what? Every day we get a new list of what is racist, right? Every day.
Racist.
Do you know what is?
Fine,
You know
racist.
what is racist now?
Everything.
Pop Tarts.
Britain is far too British.
Oh.
It always has been. Have you seen they teeth?
I know it's just unacceptable levels of racistness.
How do you tell me biscuits are hard and expect me to take you seriously?
Oh, I agree. I agree. Eliminate the entirety of the British. Now the thing is, I can say that within the first 15 minutes, and I won't get a strike for that. But there's a few other
What
things
if
if
I
I
say
say
that?
within the first 15 minutes, I will definitely get a strike for. Yeah.
GOP, I have a joke to tell you. I can't say it on stream. I
Yeah,
loaded
well,
up my
then,
Wii, and one of my
it's not
characters
only
put a
8
me
minutes.
character in there. I'll tell you what it was.
Okay, cool.
Later.
Well, I'm sure the audience. We'll just leave the audience guessing what that
Yeah,
could
no,
possibly be.
it's only been 8 minutes. Shh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
German World War II.
6
Oh,
minutes.
right.
Yeah, shut up.
No, no,
Okay.
no,
Anyway,
Tower.
welcome
You're
everybody.
commuting.
Nice to have you
That's all
here.
I said.
Yay,
Lady has
welcome.
already got the monkey paws going, and that's not acceptable. Stop that right there, Dave. Stop it. Yeah. But of course, we're going to be continuing Umbral today as usual. And it's a little bit different. We finally had the plot twist drop last week, and that's cool. I've been waiting for that. I actually didn't know that it was going to happen this soon, but I have been leaving. I have been leaving clues, and in my refresher, 30 seconds that I do of every show, I'll point one or two of them out. But of course, we got to get into that. It's starting to heat up and get more interesting, I think. Hopefully, everyone is enjoying it. Keep in mind just a little bit of channel maintenance. This week, we have no Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition. We will be back after today for Night Owls on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come back for that. But no Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition this week from on this channel. I'm sure either Rabbit or Eric or one of those guys will probably run the show on their site somewhere. So go search it out because that's always a great show to see the amazing professional art that they put out for each week's theme. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, it's been long enough. We're going to get into it. You ready? I'm ready.
Yee.
All right, so let me go ahead here, share, and
Now,
You
why
got
am I
this.
the only one in Bugbear's basement dice area?
yes,
You got
I
have it
did.
up
I did
sniffles,
yet.
bring that
Chester?
up myself. What was that, Tower?
You have the sniffles there?
No,
Oh,
I just haven't been up very long.
fair enough. I've been up for way too long.
Drink your coffee, Chester.
I am. I got it right here.
Would it help if I just slammed a monster right now?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for health reasons,
There
but
we go. It's all working.
yeah.
Okay. Let's bring it back up. All right, here we go. So let me I'm going to drop her on the other side. Lady is in charge of the chat. She'll tell me if anything dramatic happens, like Dave is typing something in, and all of a sudden we get like a long line of dots. The end of Dave. We don't want that.
Well, you saw that at what he posted after you, though, right? When you said
No,
welcome.
I don't pay attention.
Aw.
I take that as
He's talking
point of
about the
pride.
monkey's paw. It's a short story published in 1902.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Thank you. Anyway,
Just
of course, you
trying to
guys.
educate the people.
That you go ahead and be the man of the people. I do believe that you should
No.
now call yourself Dwayne Johnson.
Yee.
Yeah. Okay. So we play Cortex Prime here on this run we're doing, and I'm enjoying. I think it's fun and easy. We will be doing something different later, but we're still on this, and like I said, it's going well. Of course, this is Umbral. I haven't showed these in a while, so I'll go ahead and show these because we have had some updates. Here's Lady's character. This is Mavis or Max. Her character is a little different than the others because, even though we've had changes and two characters here that are not the original, keep in mind they all started as being saved from a sacrifice, right? And various things happened to them, and she is the lamb, just so you know. And the other two we don't have with us right now. But here is GOP's character, Xander Lyons the Third. He is the absolved. And then the other two characters we have with us are not part of it. We do have a member of the Order here that has been rejuvenated into the champion, holding Excalibur, and he is Tacitus Underwood. And I put the younger picture in here, even though I really rather like the older one. But of course, we also have Puffin here, who's joined us, and he is Jarro. I spelt that with one R because you're ancient, and the ancients didn't like double letters. Okay,
That's right.
That's right. They hadn't invented them yet, so there we go.
I hadn't invented letters.
What do you say?
Didn't invent letters yet, even.
No, not these kind, not the ABC types. That's true. They came later. But Jaro, Puffin's character, is a demon, but more importantly, he's an Atalani. He is a member of the pack, though. But he is Atalani, and that's important because as you guys have been noticing in our storyline, the Atalani have been popping up, right? And I think it's the mystery for these guys, and hopefully today we'll get into some of that resolution today. We'll see. This character I haven't really played, but just to remember, this is the martyr. There was a fourth person, and so this person is available. Anybody wants to come in now? Excuse me. So last week, just to reiterate, when we were going through that, and I'll give you one hint that I had been giving along the way. And here is an important one right here. Of course, they had went and met with Lord Oberon, King of the Ishi. But remember, I said I had dropped a bunch of hints that things were not as what they seemed, and I'll leave it at that. But nevertheless, where was I? Here it is. Keep in mind, we've also had a bunch of commercials that have been coming out for a while that have been showing some new tech, and people are actually starting to get excited about it. But from your point of view, it's very weird. But in the last one, these guys had gone and they had were hunting Sidon with the help of Palatine, although he did die. Sad. And they fought the harlot again, so that was nice. They met a little Pippin, his cobalt, and they had an interesting conversation with him. They met Eudora the Crone, who turned out to be Cersei. We know that because Puffin's character's here. And they started to see a trend, so because they're supposed to be going after this guy, Sidon. But they saw themselves a little bit of a trend, so they went back and had a conversation with the people who sent them on this task initially, but they didn't know that. But of course, they finally met the people that were behind their mission. And these guys, they went to go tell them that information, and things broke down pretty quickly. And I'll leave these guys to iterate what they want to do with that. But these people here, the inner circle of the Elohim, is pretty high level, right? And pack the pack bosses, right? They were going to murderate them, and they had a bunch of Stygians in the Umbral Bastion of Shiloh, which is something you shouldn't do. Although, lady, you should take mind that you've been noticing that when Atalani magic is involved, your various magical things don't seem to work as well, right? Including Mimir's eye, right? Keep that in mind, lady.
Okay.
We have established that. But anyway, all those things took place. It is day 3. And we're still on the same case file, Excalibur. But it is day 3. But these guys left themselves sitting outside
Yeah.
of the Boston headquarters here. So I think I did a quick little synopsis there. All right, so these guys are sitting outside the Boston office of Dove in Brookline, Boston. And what do you got to do?
Well, so we're not sure if Antoine is good or bad, right?
Well, he did take you to them. He is the boss here.
Yes.
You don't know what's going on. You don't really know.
We don't.
Well, what do you know? Go ahead and tell the world what you know, and let's see how much I chuckle.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know a lot. Honestly, I know that the reason we were sent out here was not what we thought it was. I don't even know if we should kill Sidon. I don't know the motivation there, you know. Because
Went to a
yes, he
lot of
is
hard work and sacrifice to do that, though.
true. We did, but then the people who told us to do it also tried to kill us.
It's true.
So
Why
to
did they
be
do that, though? Help the chat remember.
because we tried to press them for more information. Because what did you Puffin? What did you tell them exactly? I'm trying to remember now.
I told them about what had been said to us about us being owned. That Sidon,
Oh yeah,
or no, what was his name?
Eudora, Cersei.
Rawl,
Yeah, Raw had us all.
and that information caused them to basically because we weren't buying their line, they dropped the act and tried to kill us. So I'm not quite sure, but because the teleportation is down, I'm thinking we should maybe talk with oh my god, what's her name, Lady Ninma. Because usually it's kind of isolated anyways, and if Ninma is involved in this and tries to attack us, well, I mean, yeah, she's gonna be a tough fight if that happens, but at the very least, if she's on our side, that might be a lot better, and she might be able to help us find out where we need to go, maybe. At least before we talk with Antoine, you know. Which, by the way, how did he get? Did we bring him back with us when we left?
Who?
Antoine.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to trace that back because I was like, wait, did we bring him with? Is he stuck in Shiloh?
No, you brought him back. Of course you did. Yeah.
Okay. I was just clarifying that because I didn't remember if we did that. So I think we should talk with Nenma personally.
Okay.
At least I can try and see if she's involved in this. You know.
Puffin, you have no idea who this Ninma is.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically our mission leader, essentially.
Well, remember, when you went with Burquest to meet with the Inner Circle, he was given to you.
Wait. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Puffin was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he could be part of.
He could be. That's true.
But we already know he's part. He's demon.
That wouldn't make any sense because if he was part of this, then he wouldn't have gone to the council to, he would never
Stir it all up.
Fair question. Maybe you should ask him why he was there then.
All right.
We can't do this on the street. Let's retreat to our humble abode.
I don't know if we should go back there just because I don't know if anyone's looking for us quite yet. But we'll kind of get off to the side. And all right, well, yeah, I'll ask Jarl basically. So how did you get involved with those folks in the first place?
I was thawed after my demise in roughly 2790 BC. Ever since, I had been kept like a sword in a sheath.
Remember, you're an honorary member of the Elohim.
What kind of sword?
They made me an honorary member of their order due to my age and power.
But he's not really one of them.
Yeah.
No. I did not agree with much of what they did. Like I told the... Would you call him a gnome?
Kobold.
Oh, that guy,
Like-
yeah.
Like
Puffin.
we talked with the kobold.
Pippin.
Yes, Pippin.
Either way.
I am one who puts out his fires, not one that stokes them.
Okay.
With that, lady, Paul
Yes.
says to you, what does Paul call you? Max? Max.
Sure.
Paul says, Max, I'm detecting strange communications within the Dove network. I'm having trouble translating it. Could you assist, please?
Certainly.
I need a dice roll with your which is your strength, but with your skill set, and it's pretty hard. 19.
Is it
Arrgh.
encrypted or is it like a language that it doesn't quite
Not
get?
quite sure. Paul doesn't know. Something's going on.
Okay, so let me see what I need to do here. So we're working with
Mental, whatever distinction applies to your, your electronic stuff that you do, and then all of your, we're dealing. This is Paul, so it's going to be all of your intelligence-based stuff, right?
right,
Basically,
right.
it's a knowledge roll.
Yeah, it's a knowledge roll. Yeah,
It's a knowledge
which I know you
roll,
have a lot of
D,
dice in.
which is a D8 with a computer science thing. So let's
Only a
see.
D. Wow, you really didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I haven't gotten that much, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see.
I would
As
suggest
that is also a D8. Okay, I see
How many experience points are you sitting on, lady?
6.
Wow. All right.
Where did you spend them all?
She did bump her her TK up to 12.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's expensive.
That's a good point.
It's like 20 in it.
I would suggest
Yeah.
in the future bumping up your knowledge, since that's kind of, you're like,
That's what you do. Yeah.
yeah, well, like computers wise. I mean, I know Tower's character has a lot of knowledge, but his is more arcane focused.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
Let me get over to the page.
You
I'm
can do
waiting for you
it.
here.
I'm working on it. Let's see.
You were the one who said everyone should have it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I only have 3 screens. I got one on live, one on my character, and I flip flop watching the. You can monitor the chat.
It's called tabs, lady. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm clicking tabs. So just give me a
Tabs
second.
is totally accurate
my
battle
mouse.
simulator.
So it's going to be your mental. It's going to be whatever distinction applies. Your knowledge,
Yeah,
skill, and Paul.
Knowledge, skill, and Paul.
You can do it.
Since Paul is a specialty thing.
No, he definitely. You add Paul's dice in. What is Paul's
Yeah.
dice?
Paul's is an 8.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
know.
have definitely put your experience points in the wrong place.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least you didn't get no, ones on it.
At least you didn't get no towers.
Now, why is
Yeah.
it showing so small? Goodness gracious. Let me go see.
That's
if
what I
can
was
adjust
wanting to know.
I'm going to
You
put
can-
it, check it out and put it in old man mode. Give me a second. Here.
Okay.
Just go into
Show
settings.
results. Faces. Remove. Yes. Text size. Oh, there it is. So large
dice.
for the old people. Okay.
My roll disappeared.
Yeah, because I just changed something. So roll again.
Okay.
I feel like you should have. Well, I don't know.
There we go. Back to normal. Alrighty. So, well, thank you for the 8-sider. I appreciate it. It's a good start to the
You
day.
originally didn't get one, but that's all right. I got a higher number now.
14.
So we have 14. If you can add, spend 1 PowerPoint, which you start every session with 1 anyway, you make it by adding the 5. So Spend that power point. This is
And
actually a rather important roll.
spending the PowerPoint, adding the 5, and it disappeared again on me. So that was 14 plus, that's 19.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like they've done some kind of update.
Yeah, because I think some of my stuff reset. I used to have it set.
Let me come here. Fade message after
never.
Never. Remove messages after never.
Never.
Okay. So let's see here. Pick up dice before next roll.
Auto clear never.
Large. Auto clear never. Yeah, that should do it. We'll see how that goes. They must have had some update or something.
Yeah, you can clear it in the top. That's how I usually do it.
Yeah. That's better. I'd rather have the list anyway, because you guys can always just click on something or re-roll it if you want. But we'll see. They must just had an update. No big deal. Anyway, lady, you made the roll precisely, I think. And therefore, this is the information you get. You and Paul work on it together as you guys are standing. You've kind of moved off to the side a little bit. There is a dove-wide alert out that just dropped, that has been dropping here for the past few minutes. And it seems that Paul was intentionally being blocked. Paul specifically. And you understand why when you read the update. Basically, an APB has been put out on the liaison team of Boston. Kill on sight.
Oh!
Violators attack the inner circle.
All right. Cool.
So that puts a wrinkle in things.
I'm back to the group. I go, everyone hold hands, and I look at the old man. The farthest place that is hidden. Take us to safety. They put an APB on all of us, kill on sight. He may not be able to die, but we can.
I've got another option too. Because we know people.
She was talking to Tower Puffin.
What'd I do?
Yeah, I was talking to Puff. I was talking to Tower character. Yeah. Take us to the safest place you know.
He outside of them, so
the Coca-Cola factory.
Tower, please. No. He's an ancient person.
Tower, your guy is 200 years old.
Yes.
Yes, you're very old. Please try to remember that. Anyways, you guys sitting here on this try to seeing that you're being, framed because you know what you've done and haven't done. You do see a bunch of the Dove Escalades rolling out.
Okay. You know what? Why don't we go to Anthony's? Or I mean, we could literally go to the elf place to maybe we can find out where Osiris is through the seer guy. He might be able to help us with that.
I must warn my brother.
Who's your brother?
Brother-in-arms, a fellow Atalani of the treachery afoot.
Well, actually, you know Osiris well. You've served in his army, and he is one of the great Atalani kings. So, you actually have met him. I mean, you're pretty old, so you might well have met all of the Atalani, which we're not going to get into why that's true. But you certainly know who he is.
Yes, I wish.
Let's either head to Oberon's court or let's head to the tower, to the Seer's Tower. Just to, we'll see if we can get an audience with him again. Maybe he can help us again. If he doesn't, we can try and get another audience with Oberon. But I don't think he would care. But it's an option. It's somewhere we could go.
Yeah, you need to make that choice though, because you're in serious danger of being spotted.
Yeah, let's go. Unless you guys have a better idea, that's my vote. Let's go.
Wait, at least we could 3 options.
We could talk more there.
Which one? Pick one.
Oh, let's go. Let's go to the Seer first. If we can get an audience, cool. If we can't, then let's go to Oberon.
Well, they're both in the summer court.
Yeah.
in the Feywild. So they're both in that space.
I mean, unless you guys have a better idea, let's go there right now.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go there right now, and then we can figure out what we want to do after that. But let's just get out of here.
Okay.
If we get the
Yeah. Well, Tower teleports you, and as you guys know, the rule with the Feywild is that you can't actually go to a specific location. It's been magicked. No matter what you do, you'll always, when you enter the Feywild, the gate to the Feywild is the Friarfinville. So that's where you are.
Okay.
We're familiar with this place now, and we know the track to the place where we need to go.
Well, you know that north is the Summer Court. East is the Autumn Court. South is the Winter Court, and west is the Spring Court. So
I am turning Paul off.
Well, Prin is, you guys know, is within the Spring Court because you went last time west to get to his tower. He's actually in the Spring Court lands of the Feywild or the Fairylands. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, we could, because we knew how to get there from the Summer Court. That's where we left from.
Yep.
Right.
Well, this is the same thing. Like I said, you know the directions now because when you were brought in, and such like that.
Okay.
I know some of you are pretty old. Take off any technology and destroy it now.
No, we don't have to destroy it. I mean, Paul's probably.
Don't know if Paul can block it or not.
Paul is supposed to be a super advanced AI.
Paul's an asset. It doesn't work like that.
And just shut off the connection. At the very least, you can do that, and you can monitor if it's I mean, if Paul's probably smart enough to be able to monitor.
Go into shadow mode basically.
If they're trying to ping it or something, but just have it essentially disconnect. Just internal database only for now.
Okay.
All right, yeah, then let's go to the tower.
Okay, so you're going to head west and go toward the Spring Court and where Prince Tower actually sits on the edge of it. So you guys travel and you don't have a team of elves hunting you sent by the Queen Titania to murder you, so that's a benefit. So you're able to make the journey. What did I say? It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And so it's not that far. But then again, even though it's a big Vale land, it's not forever. It's not an eternal land, right? And of course, that's just the outskirts of the Spring Court anyway. But from here in the nexus of the Freerfin Vale, you can get to any of the major points within a good amount of time. But nevertheless, you guys are standing outside of Prince Tower. And of course, standing there outside is Vihan.
Hey, Vihan, my main man, how you doing?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the tower. How may I help you today?
We got a kind of important question to ask the seer, if that's all right.
Very well. Follow me.
Okay.
You've already been allowed entrance, therefore it seems that is eternal. It's kind of nice, handy. So Vihan is big and badass. We didn't get to have that fight. That could have been fun. But Vihan is badass. I know that. We give him extra stakes. But he brings you into the tower, of course. And last time you were here, it was fairly empty of people. This time you come in, there's a lot of commotion going on, and you see some interesting things as he's leading you along. You see in here there are certainly Ishi or elves right? That are moving around doing stuff. And you also notice a couple of things that maybe you just didn't know what you were looking at, but you do see a couple of kobolds in here as well. Maybe they were there before, but you didn't really know what you were looking at. Now you know. You've met one, right? There are a couple of kobolds running around here, which isn't really odd now to think of it, because he is a great librarian. This is a collector. He's a lore master. He's a collector of information, but he also is the most prominent seer in history. And of course, Prin, and knowing him as Prin. And you guys come in and you're let in. And of course, this is the first time for you to be here, Puffin. And you come in led in by Vihan, who you don't know, in this place you've never been. And you come and are standing in front of Seer Prin. And you know who it is, whether you want to say so or not.
I give him a little bow. It's a pleasure to see you again.
I expected you 10 minutes ago.
Well, we got a bit delayed.
Things are interesting. He actually opens his eyes. Last time, remember, he didn't do that until the end. He usually keeps his eyes closed. But he opens his eyes. Sorry, and he looks right at you, Jaro. And of course, you know exactly who this is. You don't know him as Prin, but it's you guys are old, so names do change. But you know him as Shihan. And he looks at you and he says, "It has been a very long time, Jaro."
You're still muted, Puffin. Oh.
Puffin?
Maybe he's not here.
Let me go check. I'm not on that side.
He is muted. I just
shows him muted.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's muted.
He might just walked away or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, his family may go, we need this, we can't do this. I'll go, oh, fine.
Sure.
We'll put a pin in it, I guess.
Interesting. Did I bring that whole thing over? I'm not looking. I'll just give it a second and wait for Puffin to come back in. I guess I didn't.
Okay.
I guess I didn't bring that up. So let me do this, and I'll bring this over while we wait. Puffin, you having mic troubles, dude? See if you can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going. I mean, oh, there he is. Hey, Puffin.
No, I have some family things going right fast. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. No problem. You take it. A minute here. All right. So I got this back up. I don't know why that went away. But all right, let me bring it back over here. All right.
Yeah, I would assume he probably also know. Well, he might even know what the motives are of the inner court or inner council or whatever it's called.
Knowing and saying are two different things.
That's true. That is true, but might be worth picking his brain on it, just in case. Won't hurt.
I was having a coughing and sneezing fit.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. Yeah.
It happens and goes away. Okay.
I'm curious if they made a deal with Rawl like Merlin tried to do. That'd be interesting. But then, I mean, the Atalani probably then.
All right, I'm good.
They probably wouldn't agree to. Oh, you're back. Okay, never mind. I'll stop.
Oh no, I was just letting you know it's back.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys can go ahead and do your thing.
Hello.
Yes.
You see the screen?
Yeah. No, just give me a second. I'm going to change that name.
Oh,
See your print?
No, I was going to do one thing, but I think I'd rather have him be something else. So give me a second.
Initiate retcon time.
Bro.
Yes.
Can we
Yeah.
can
Okay.
we
Okay. All right.
retcon?
Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, can we retcon Puffin to have Excalibur then too, or is that off the table?
No, we're not doing that. No.
Okay, all right.
So you guys come into Seer Prin's room, which is a library, right? He's a lore master. There's a bunch of people moving around, collecting information and making notes, and it's quite a busy place today, unlike last time. And you guys come in, and of course you see Seer Prin. He says, "Well, I expect you 20 minutes ago." Of course, the seer who sees all has. I have to make that joke. It's mandatory. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, now Jaro being here is interesting because he is an Atalani himself. And now I've left a lot of hints, but I didn't make that hint with this one. As you can see, I left his information down here very, very limited. I did that in purpose because I didn't want to give too much away. But you recognize who this is. This is a fellow Atalani. And you do know who he is. You're not necessarily friends with him. You've met him a few times, of course, because of the various adventures of the Atalani. But this is Road.
Hmm. I see.
And it's been a
Well,
long time. Matter of fact, you have to go back to the insurrection days.
Road. I haven't seen you since the insurrection.
Yes, well, it has been a while. It is interesting you came into this, that you have not done what you normally do. But yet, of course, because of my various abilities, I knew you would. Good or bad, I'm not sure. However, you have come to me at the right time. So, I am limited in many ways that I cannot discuss. However, I will answer one question honestly.
I look
All
at
right,
the.
then. You do know that she's dead, correct?
Is that the question?
It's
You
not a question. I'm just telling telling him that she is dead. That Raul is draining us, and with statements.
He says,
My
Cersei's passing is certainly a loss. She was one of the great creators, unlike you.
yes, unlike me. So, my companions, we have one question that he will answer. Honestly, I hope that we can make it a good one. I have some that I would ask, but when you live as long as I do, you could ask questions into infinity.
Um. Well, I mean, if I was gonna ask him the question, personally, I would ask, since we need to find this Osiris character, that would be the question about his whereabouts. But we can deliberate amongst ourselves. But I feel like out of all the questions we have for him, that's probably the best one to ask.
Then let it be so.
Or how do
Time
we?
is of the essence.
Okay. Well, where do we find this Osiris character?
Interesting question. You might have wanted to ask another.
Well, we're kind of at a wall,
Yes,
and
it seems that. It makes sense. Nevertheless, I will tell you where Osiris is. Now, of course, normally, and as he speaks, the room goes black, and you find yourself looking upon. You feel this is an illusion, though. It doesn't feel like you've actually been transported, but he is showing you things. And he says normally, if one were to look for Osiris, of course, you would find him in the Duat. But seeing as this is what the Duat looks like now, he might not be found there. Of course, I will tell you exactly where he is, since this is your question. And he brings up an overview of the world, like a satellite image, and he shows you Turkmenistan.
So first we go to Kazakhstan, and now that seems like an odd coincidence.
And
But
do I do those?
Mm,
And he says he is specifically in Balkanabat and at the Kerman compound.
all right, and I'm assuming that you would share with us any information is beyond that if we needed it as part of finding him, correct? Or
Well, to be honest with you, I'd probably sign my death warrant helping you at all. But one should be safe.
You
okay,
can come with us if you wish, if you are able.
I am bound here, unfortunately. I will not step into the mortal coil and have what happens to the rest of us happen to me.
huh? So it does only affect you if you're inside the mortal realm. That's interesting.
He smiles. He
Okay.
looks at you and he says, I'll give you this one piece of information in addition, for I am bound by powers you do not understand. However, how many of us do remain? I mean, and he looks at you, Jaro, and he says, the true Atalani.
Well, all I know is Sidon, myself, Osiris, and you. Otherwise, I have not heard from the others. I assume
Yes.
Raul may have drained them. But I do have a question. You do not have to answer it honestly, but I will take a piece of paper and I'll write it down on him. Write it down on the piece of paper and hand it to him.
Okay.
And then be like, you can send that to me. I know you can. But we have work to do. Be well.
All right. So what did you tell him?
Let's see here. I'll send you a message.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Table messages. That's been a while.
Mhm. I almost feel like the way he said true Adelani, like maybe Osiris isn't. That's just the way that it sounded to me, like he was trying to say that like there are, false Atalani.
Well, did he not say that they made him one of them? So he's not a true Ontalon, whatever you want to call
No,
it.
no. You're thinking of the Elohim.
Okay.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was no Atalani amongst them. No, there
Okay.
weren't. Actually, in that room, when you were talking to them, the oldest person there was Jaro, by a lot, by a lot. Although those people you met, I'll bring that up just to reiterate it for you. This thing is so large now; it's getting a bit unmanageable.
Hey, I know you want to delete it.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that these files are getting big, dude.
Do I need to send you a thumb drive, 1 terabit thumb drive?
No, that's not that's not the issue. There were no Atalani in here at all. They're all
Yeah.
Elohim. They're all mainly. You had a tethered, of course, like you guys. You had a Chaldamite, which is interesting, and a Swati. But there are no Atalani among that you met. You've met a few. You've met Merzin, right? You've met
Right.
Oberon. You have met Cersei. You have met Jaro, and you've met The old man here.
Rotes. Okay.
Well,
So
you don't know him as that, but
Okay.
yeah. So
say
I'm
your prayer.
thinking if we have no more business here, then I'll give him a little bow. If there's nothing else, and
Good luck to you. He looks over as you guys are getting ready to leave. Um, Now, keep in mind, you cannot enter into the Fey realms or the fairylands without going to that specific point. You can leave from anywhere, though, so you don't need to travel back. He does look over. He looks over at you, Jaro, to answer your question, and he looks at you very, very intently. And keep in mind, Road is like I said, you don't know him super well, but
Mhm.
he is well respected for his wisdom, right?
Mhm.
That's the main thing he's respected for. And he says, "Not for long."
That's as I feared.
Hmm.
If
So,
you need me, I will
okay.
return.
He looks at you mournfully, actually.
Hmm.
All right, guys, what are you doing?
Okay, so we could either go straight there, or I mean, if we want to try the Oberon route, we don't know which of the courts he's going to be at. But as you were saying, Chester, they're not really that far apart, right?
No, no. There's definitely some magic going on here. The fairylands. Well, you wouldn't really know this, but who cares? The fairylands are probably about the size of Europe, right? As far
Oh,
as the actual size of the fairylands. And keep in mind, the Veil is different than the Umbra, right? Just a little bit to reiterate how an Yggdrasil works in this campaign world. You have the Mortal Coil, and then you have the Veil, which surrounds everything. And the Veil, in the shallow part of the Veil, you if you're up against the Veil, it actually looks like our world. It is our world, but it's color has been sapped from it. Sound is hard to hear, but it's it looks like our world. But as soon as you step into the mists, you get into the veil itself. But the veil is basically the same size as Earth. It is literally surrounding Earth. It's just at a different frequency, right? It's like superimposed on top of it in a way. It's slightly bigger, but not much, right? Assume that the veil is our atmosphere. Just think of it like that. It's Earth's atmosphere, but it's just at a different frequency. Therefore, we can't see it or interact with it so easily. The Umbra is a very different thing. The Umbra operates at many different frequencies. Actually, it's kind of bends the mind of physics. And the Umbra is just around Earth itself is huge. And of course, all of the void, all of space is technically part of the Umbra, right? And all the planets and things within the universe are, embraced within the Umbra. And then, of course, the ground beyond that is the ascended lands, which you guys can't go to. And then you hear from study that beyond that is the Grand Veil, which transcendence and all that. We don't need to get into any of that. Although, don't
okay.
forget, the ascended did send some help.
That's true. But then
Uh,
the question is, how do we get a hold of them without?
well, you know where one is. But anyway, but that's how this operates. So the veil is basically Earth's atmosphere in size. All right, so it's biggish, but not really. The umbra is a different thing. Who knows what's in the deep umbra, right? I mean, honestly, it could be anything. But just so you get a feel for it. But the Feylands are about the size of Europe as far as land massing. But there's some magic going on here that allows you to get to the entry points of all the courts quite quickly. And Prince Tower is the entry point to the Spring Court. So
Hmm.
yeah, you can get anywhere in here pretty easily. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was just because I mean, if he travels between the courts and like if they were like days away from each other, then it would be you know I get it. We probably wouldn't be able to do that. But if they're relatively close enough that we could travel to different courts and eventually find him, within a day,
Mhm.
then okay.
Well,
So
the summer court is about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours away from you. The spring court is probably down the road. I mean, you
well,
are
let's
on.
go to the spring court first since we're here.
Okay. So you guys head through down. You're not in the Freifin anymore because that's like a nexus point. You're actually in this area, and you head down the road. Not very long, about 10 minutes, and you see something very similar to what you saw with the summer court, but it's of course more springy looking, with a bunch of Roman-esque buildings and stuff. However, you find something you're not really expecting: a ruin.
Oh, that's not good.
There's nothing
Okay.
here. As you guys look around, everything's broken and busted. There's a big, beautiful palace that is literally broken, cracked in half, with the right side of it missing. There are bleached bones all over the place.
So like they've been dead for a long time?
Seems so.
Huh. Well, I mean, we we could check the summer court, um, see what's going on. I mean, if it's the same there, it's probably the same in all four of them. But maybe find someone to alive to see if see what possibly happened here.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm going to start. I'm going to go over and look around the rubble and the ruins, and if I need to attempt to move pieces aside, if I see like a pinned skeleton or something like that, trying to find any traces of attack.
Sure. You're investigating the scene. Lady, are you
Mhm.
using Paul in that way?
I don't know if Paul is able to do anything like that. I
Of course,
mean,
he can scan and analyze. You've used him
okay,
that way
all right.
before.
Well, we'll use you will all use Paul then and start searching,
He is the
looking for
tricorder.
symbols. Oh, okay. You didn't tell me that one. Okay, yeah. Let's see what Paul can dig up.
So
Look for
you
scarring.
you two are doing investigations, which means in this situation, you can make separate rolls if you want, but usually in this situation, what you do is take the person with the higher roll, and the other person adds a d6 to the pool. So what are we doing?
Good notice, right?
Yeah, which of you two has higher notice?
I
Or
have a
specific
D8.
forensic skills?
Yeah, true.
There is
I
no
have
She
specific friend
No,
skill.
you like
There
if you
are,
have a
yes, there are.
specialty.
You can take
If you,
no and forensic. Most certainly, you can. But she does have
Okay.
a very good asset. Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Mhm.
so what is your notice, lady?
My notice is D6, of course.
Okay, and Puffin, what's your notice?
D8.
See,
Okay, but then lady does have
The D8
have
asset
a
Paul.
user.
D8
Yeah.
Paul. We could
So
use my D6
To be
and
fair,
his D8
it's only a
to
challenge rating
assist.
11. No one tried to hide anything, so it's not very hard.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's use the robot and we can both help the robot.
There you go. So go ahead, lady.
Okay.
Make your roll.
We'll
Add a
put 3D6.
D6 to the pool, please.
Okay. 866. Nope. Hang on. Subtract a 6.
Yeah.
Ha! Clear it. Clear. Clear it. Okay. 8 and 2 6s, right?
It would have to be more than that. So you've got
Yeah.
your mental attribute
Okay.
Your
We're using
distinction.
the distinction. Okay.
that applies. You have your notice.
Notice, his notice, and then Paul.
No.
Okay,
Well,
I got it.
No. You have your notice. You have Paul, and you have an extra d6 from him.
That's right.
I thought he was a D8.
No. You
No,
from
that's not how it
assisting,
works.
you only get a D6.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they have on their own.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that is huge.
That is big number. Very, very nice. All right, so you definitely succeed, and you don't need to spend any PowerPoints or nothing. So very, very, very good. Let me go back over here to the visual, and you guys spend a little bit of time here researching, and Tower and GOP are kind of playing lookout. And after you do your analysis and your figuring and stuff like that, you think it's probably been about 10 years that this happened. 10 years ago, this happened. And also, the most clear point of damage and attack is a bit shocking to you. Stygian.
Oh. So, we've already dealt with time dilation through this place before, right?
You have.
Hey, can your fancy schmancy computer calculate our time dilation while we were here and extrapolate that to how much 10 years is?
Already did. I already gave that information.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I just gave it to you solid. Yeah.
That's why he told us 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, I mean, I guess it's 10 years in here. Well, but we're just trying to figure out how much it is in the outside world, but that's okay.
Plus or minus a year or two.
Okay, so it was before we came out here, is what I'm trying to establish.
Way before. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I mean, we know the summer court. Well, it should still exist. So let's. I suggest we head over that way.
Following your lead.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys head back, and of course, it takes a bit of walking, but you get back to the Freya Findale or the Nexus, and you continue on past that, which is shorter travel than going to where you went, and you find yourself outside the summer court as usual. It looks just like it did last time. And you come up, and of course there are guards who melt out of the mist as before, and they come up and they acknowledge to you, and they say, basically, what do you need?
It's on in session.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm asking if Oberon is currently there.
Of course, Lord Oberon is here.
Is there any chance we might speak with him?
They look at each other, and one of them falls into the mist. Now, you've been here before, and you know that on the other side of the mist is a beautiful palace in town, right? It's a little obscured by whatever magic is happening here. And the guard is quiet, intently looking at you, as guards do. And about 10 minutes pass, and the guard comes back, and he says, "You will be allowed audience. Follow me."
I give him a polite bow and I follow him.
Now, you come into the court as usual, like I said before, and you walk through the town up to the palace, and there's lots of elves moving around. And keep in mind that I've kind of reiterated this point that that Oberon is the creator of both the Stygians and the Ishi, right? And therefore they are similar looking. The difference is the Stygians, their face is much more reptilian, where the elves look, more human in their face. But they have the horns, right? But he created both. But then again, Oberon is the Oberon is the greatest of all the creators. He is the most respected. And Jaro, even back in your day, he was called the Oberon. You know what that means. The creator, right? You know this.
Yes.
His real name, you don't necessarily have to, because you're used to calling him that anyway. He's always been called that. He has a true name, but you don't necessarily need to share that.
I
But
won't.
nevertheless, he is super highly respected. He's the most respected of all the Atalani, actually, because of his creative abilities. Anyway, you're brought in to the court, and of course, as you have seen before, Lady Titania is there, and she seems to be over in the corner playing with a bunch of maidens, I guess you could say. They are very odd-looking maidens, and she is peeling the flesh off the back of one of them, and she seems to be enjoying it. Both of them. Odd. Yeah.
This
Uh,
place
but
hasn't changed much.
yeah, no, she's. You guys probably don't like her very much. She's a bit of a bitch. She did try to
Yeah,
murder you like what, 3 times?
true.
Sure.
At least 2.
But of course, you're not here to see her and this silly little girl in her games. You're here to see Lord Oberon, and he is sitting firmly upon his throne. And as you guys walk up, and coming to speak to him, he kind of does what he does and barely acknowledges you, like he does everything else. And whilst you, of course, GOP is the mouth, so he's going to do his thing. But Jaro,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know who the hell that is, but that's not Lord Oberon.
Who is this imposter?
Are you going to say this out loud?
Where they can hear me, not where the guy on the chair can hear me.
Okay.
This is not the Oberon I knew. This is not the Oberon.
Using the eye, looking at the phone, just like I'm not paying attention to anybody or
Yep.
anything.
No, he looks just like any other Ishi. He is what he is. The problem is, I've told you guys several times that Oberon is an Atalani.
Mm-hmm.
The Atalani are not elves. They don't have pointy ears, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Show
Atalani
him the
look like humans.
I show him the picture. This is what he looks like.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
looks
mumbling.
exactly like what you see. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, what are we gonna do? Because I mean,
Depending on how he answers, I'll call him out. But at the moment, I'm just resting my hands on my axes like a warrior would.
Sure.
Thoroughly ready to throw hands if necessary. I've already pissed off a council.
Well, should I implore for his wisdom in this scenario and see what he says and see how he reacts to it? If he is involved in this whole conspiracy theory or this whole conspiracy or not? If he is, we can bamf out, because we've done that before.
Yes, we can escape, but I want to know if he is potentially hiding the location of the Oberon or if something has happened to him. But this creature is not Oberon.
Okay.
No, well, to be fair, Jaro, you know that this is actually one of Oberon's creations. It's an Ishi.
Yes.
And that's one of his, the Oberon is responsible for many creatures. He's the great creator, right? But this is one of his most proud creations, the elves.
I'll address him. You, creation of Oberon, why do you sit on his throne? I wish to speak to your master.
He looks at you a bit stunned for a second. The murmur throughout this, because you're in a court and there are many elves around you, right? The murmur in this room stops. And he looks at you and he says, why would you say that?
I am Jaro of the Atalani, and you are not the Oberon I went to war with.
That's nonsense. Remove this person. Remove this person from the court. Who is this person? Remove them. Remove them.
Looking at the phone, just casually scanning around everyone. They still look like we see, right?
Yeah, no, they do. These are all elves that you can see here anyway.
They're all Ishi.
They are, although there is a little blip behind the curtain that doesn't seem to be normal.
Oh my god! It's
The Wizard
is
of
this a
Oz.
Wizard of Oz situation? Oh
I'm gonna-
wow!
I'm gonna
Wow,
take.
Chester.
So there's so behind where the curtain is, not to actually hit what's behind the curtain, but I'm just yeeting one of my axes, just like to
Lady,
pin
just
the curtain open.
throw it. Use your telekinesis and just pull it open.
Well, no,
Can
he
you
just
sell?
no, wait, one thing at a
Okay,
time.
you threw
I
it.
have an
Okay.
axe
Never mind.
moving
I'll
through
shut
the
up.
air.
I'll shut up.
Please,
Okay.
please. Okay. As he's calling for it, the court's starting to murmur again, but in different ways. The guards are certainly in motion because Oberon has spoken, and you yeet your axe toward the curtain, and a hand reaches out and catches it. And she walks out looking at it, and she says, "You always have carried the most interesting devices."
Indeed, Lady Lilith.
Lilith walks out. Now, actually, Jaro, you have no clue who Lilith is. Now, since you've been around
Oh.
250 years in recent times, you've probably heard reference of her. I'm sure you've spent time studying to try to catch up. But it came from these later Hyksos people's legends, which today are called the Jews, right? But she's not something you are aware of or know of, although she seems to know you.
I look
I mean-
over at her and say, Lilith, it's good to see you're in good health.
She's looking a bit harsher than she did the last time you saw her, by the way, as I've changed the picture. And she takes your axe and, I mean, with literally zero effort, just kind of flings it to the side, and it embeds inside of Oberon's head, and he keels over dead.
All right, I'll use its returning feature to pull it back to my hand.
Very well. It's bloody now. She walks on. Everybody in the room bows. Everybody bows. Matter of fact, Titania is bounding across the room, and she grabs a hold of her leg and puts her hands in places I can't mention on YouTube, and is very sexually attracted as she just is like desperately hugging the body of Lilith, who you don't
So,
really know, right?
yeah.
You guys have met her. He
Yeah,
doesn't
we
really
do.
know what Lilith is. However, she does know you. Lady,
Yes, sir.
Mimir's eye is being weird again.
So she's one of the Epsiloni.
I told you that this has happened enough that your character recognizes that Mimir's eye doesn't work really well with Atalani magic. And of course, Mimir is not an Atalani, right? He is a very famous creator and seer, but he's not. He's not Atalani. But you've noticed this. You have noticed this, and you might want to try to adjust it, or you can go a different route.
Is that a roll? Is that a roll, or is that?
It is a roll. Yeah. Not a super difficult one because Mimir's eye is pretty strong. I would say a DC 15.
Okay. So that where's that one thing at? Working, operating 8. Damn.
All right. Well, I'll take the 6-sider. Thank you very much.
At least it's a 6-sider, not a 12.
Well,
damn.
Yeah, you failed. Something weird's going on though.
It's a 13. I can use a PowerPoint and add 2 points anywhere.
Yeah,
that won't be enough, will it?
16 though. You need a 16 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
I can spend 2 and reroll.
You could, or you could. What are we looking at here? 13. You could spend 2 PowerPoints. You just add those 2 dice, because in this side we don't need an effect die on this. So you can spend 2 PowerPoints and succeed.
Okay, spend 2 and succeed.
All right. She's actually magically affected because Mimir's Eye is a magical artifact, right? And she
Right.
kind of puts her hand back and she brushes Titania to the side, who immediately starts glomming back toward her. And she kind of takes a step back and she's fighting against it. And her visage changes and her true self, the reveal. You know exactly who the hell that is, Jaro. You are not pleased. She is the queen of the Atalani. You know that. You've met her before. You have respect for her simply because she is the queen. But this woman is the most persistent shit stirrer in the history of this planet.
Good thing I have my axes out.
Good thing you do. Yes. She's not pleased with this breaking of her visage. The court is starting to panic, although you guys can tell because things are about to kick off when we're getting into initiative here. But you can tell that the way the court is reacting, they're all well aware of what's happening. There's no shock of what happened to Oberon. No one even flinched when he died. Every one of these elves in this room know exactly what's going on. More than you do.
That's true.
I'm coming.
She yells out a scream. She's like, "How dare you bring that trinket in my presence?" Just imagine it's a woman, an angry Hera. But Hera, queen of the Atalani, of course. And she's absolutely pissed. And she says, "Kill these creatures now!" And you've seen her rage before. And of course, the room has kicked off. People are running around and dodging and getting out of the way. For the most part, people are. However, there are a set of guards and coming at you. And as she screams that, well, that's going to be on her initiative. So, initiative. This is coming at you. I just use a single picture, but there's actually a battalion, or not a battalion, a platoon of these.
Battalion only. Yeah, we might need to leave.
Well, there's a retinue. I'll use that word. Sorry.
All right. Oh, out of character. So your character would know how tough this lady is. Like, do you think that she could kick your ass in a straight fight?
Oh,
No.
without question. Yeah, he knows this. She is one of the. She is the queen of the Atalani. No shit. Right? She literally is that. She is one of the most powerful Atalani. Now, I can't give that information. Jaro could give you information, but this is probably not the best time. But yeah, no, she's wicked badass. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he'll never admit that she can beat him because, Jaro's prideful about his combat prowess, but she got magic.
She got magic, dude. You damn right.
And you know what happens when warriors fight mages with prep time? It doesn't end well for the warriors.
Yeah, there's a bunch of.
Well, she doesn't have prep time.
There's a bunch of backstory, which is going to. Well, we'll get to it. Anyway, you guys, initiative is set. So
okay,
what we need to go with that, and you need to decide what you want to do because she is instantly casting. And I will go on her initiative, but her initiative is. Let me see. So 56. She's going first.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, what is that? That's 50, 60. She has a 60 initiative. So
By the way,
she's going first. Yeah.
Tower, you've been muted this whole time, so if you are talking, we can't hear you.
Oh wow.
Just,
I vote we eat the shit out of here.
Well,
yeah,
you hold
that's
it.
what we did last time.
Possess it. But she goes first, though. She goes first. And lucky for you, I'm not even going to show her page yet. I'm not going to bother because
come on, show it.
No. But she doesn't cast an attack directly at you, but she does summon.
Cool.
She goes first. So the Gorgon is in play.
There's a fucking Gorgon?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good, dude.
Yeah.
Hera is
Yeah, no, we
absolutely a
leave.
problem.
We
Anyway, who's
fucking
next?
leave.
You have
Kill.
an angry Hera screaming obscenities in a language you barely know or don't know. She literally just summoned a Gorgon into the room, and you have a retinue of Struthian guards coming at you. And they're not necessarily much of a problem for you, but the combination of the three, pretty deadly. Anyway,
Well, lucky
who's next
for
in this
us,
initiative order?
it's probably going to be Tower. So
Tower is pretty high. Puffin, what is your initiative anyway?
I'm not sure. Let me see. Should be my
Physical,
physical,
mental, and move, and any assets you might have that apply.
if any distinctions also have
Yeah.
like speed kind of thing, like
Yeah, if you have any distinction that talks about speed or quickness of movement, that applies. Your move applies. Any assets you have or specialties in move you have, of course, apply. And then your physical and mental added together. All of that together.
so physical, mental added together. Move. I don't think I have. Trying to add all this up. It's hard to keep track of on the way I wrote it down. I'm dumb.
Well,
that's okay. But just
yeah.
what are your mental and physical attributes?
D10, D8.
So,
So
18. What's your move?
And yeah.
My move is D10.
All right, so
wow.
we're up to 28. Do any of your distinctions have anything that mentions speed or quickness or fleetness or something like that?
Let's see here. My distinctions, I am indomitable.
Yeah, no,
that
wouldn't.
Might be a speed thing.
That's not a speed thing. Yeah.
No, nothing speed.
Okay, so we're looking at 28. Do you have any assets that add speed? Probably not.
No.
Okay. So to be honest with you, because you're new to this, a new character, your character probably would have a couple of bumps extra, but don't worry about it. So Tower goes first. Tower, the shit is literally hit the fan. Not only is Oberon not Oberon, Lilith is who was Lady Hez, is not either of those. She's Hera, who you don't really know. You've read of her, but you don't really know who she is. Only Jaro really knows who he is. So this is weird, and you're being attacked by a raging queen, a bunch of guards, and a frickin' Gorgon.
Yeah, no, we leave.
Where do we go?
Yep.
Tower, where do you take us?
5.
Boston.
Okay.
The worst place, the absolute worst
Yeah.
place. So awesome.
Oh,
Tower.
fuck.
No,
Fuck.
we're done.
Nope.
I forgot.
We're going to Boston.
Okay. Okay. I forgot
you
that they want to
guys-
fucking murk us. I'm sorry.
And you guys arrive in Boston.
Did we just take a wrong turn at Albuquerque? Why are we in Boston?
What's up, Doc?
I'm fucked. I'm sorry.
Well,
fucked.
the good thing is he just said Boston, so you're in Boston.
Sure.
I know where we are. I know where we are. Because he was in a panic and he made a panic decision.
He's at the burrito shop, isn't he?
He is. You guys find yourself in Boston at the Diner Express, and of course, Julia is always ready to provide the tastiest burrito. This is an inside joke, Puffin, from our previous campaign. We had a fun place that had tacos called the Diner Express. This place hasn't evolved because that was way hundreds of years in the future. This is in the past, so we haven't evolved to tacos yet. We're still at burritos.
The Prody, kind of old, like my character. One burrito.
Pop in the middle of this place.
I personally paid the tab for everybody.
No, we're not going to stay here. But I know you want.
No,
There's
he has
always
to buy a
time
fucking
for
burrito.
burritos, GOP.
GOP, we're not in a hurry anymore. We need to relax
No,
and not get
we are-
fucked for
You are
5
in a
minutes.
hurry.
in a
You're in a
bad
serious
place.
hurry. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I look over, I'm guessing he just plops us out in the middle of this place.
Yep. No, you just
no, I put
arrived.
us in the booth.
Julia looks up at you as if it isn't odd at all. Now, keep in mind, you guys know who Julia is. She is an elf, but of the
Yeah.
Winter Court.
Really? We could go to the Winter Court. It's a possibility. And let them know.
Yeah. Right, right. To the vampires, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't mean. I do apologize.
Yeah,
I don't mean that Winter Court. I mean
Mm-mm.
the Elven Winter
Yeah,
Court.
the Elven Winter Court.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, no, let's probably go to Osiris since, this is just staying in this city is a very bad idea. Yeah.
Epiphany hits you, GOP. Epiphany hits you.
Okay, what am I missing?
Julia Lovecraft. Well, you don't know what her real name is, but she seems to like it, and you're always suspect exactly what's in the burritos, but they are tasty. You know because of Lady that she is an Ishi from the Winter Court. Maybe you might want to ask her a question.
I'm looking through her through the phone too.
Yep, she's an elf. She is.
Yeah.
She hides her ears because she's here in the mortal world. Then again, the mortals wouldn't really see that anyway. But she does hide her ears. But no, she's an elf. Yep.
So, Julia, it's interesting.
Making sure there's no one else can hear him. If there's other people in the.
Oh, there probably are.
There are a few people milling around, but they're all human. So.
Well,
the only Umbrals here in the room are you guys and Julia.
Hey, Julia, I hate to ask this. Can we ask you a question in private? It's kind of important.
Yeah, sure. Well, for the liaison, anything you want. She looks over and says, Sammy, come up here and take the grill. Sammy comes walking out and from the back. He was doing some stocking or stuff. Now, of course, he just looks like a big burly man, big burly black guy, actually. But Sammy is a troll. You guys
I'm gonna
It's like
smile.
our troll.
I like trolls.
Yes,
we have one too.
Trolls are also a little bit sad story. There's a bit of background you don't know about them, Puffin. But you can like trolls, sure. They're quite nice actually when they're not trying to murder you. So she leads you back into the storeroom.
They're fun to fight.
Yeah, and we'll just kind of stick in together. So if Tower needs to teleport us out, because I don't, we're still in a bit of uncharted territory.
Yep.
Okay, so Julia, it's an interesting thing. I know you're from the Winter. You're part of the Winter Court and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of came from the Summer Court. We were just over there, just recently, and weirdest thing happened. So Oberon. I mean, I'm sure you do.
Yes,
well,
we haven't seen Oberon in about 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. You happen to know what happened to the spring? Was it the spring court? Yeah, it was the spring court.
It's that damn bitch, Lilith.
Yeah, except it's not Lilith. We kind of found out. It's well, should I tell her? I mean, why not? I guess it wouldn't hurt, You know a lot of Adelani?
Only what we read.
Are you familiar with Hera?
Sure, everybody is.
Yeah, well, it's not Lilith. It's Hera.
Strange. What's she doing in the Fae?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She
Well,
just tried to kill us a minute ago.
well, yeah, but I don't know anything about that. But yeah, Lilith, she came in about, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago. So I came here, opened my
After the
shop.
summer court, after
Wait.
the summer court was destroyed.
Summer court
No,
wasn't destroyed.
no,
I
no,
mean,
the
spring court was destroyed.
She said they're all destroyed.
Oh, well, you want to fill us in on some stuff? We're kind of lost here.
Yeah.
Not really supposed to.
The
Why is
fuck is
that?
that supposed to mean,
Seems
lady?
like everybody's on a little vow of silence thing.
Well, you know, elf, human, you know.
Yeah. I know.
Honey, and I point at Jaro. whatever he is.
She's not that old. She wouldn't know who he is. She's literally just a creepy elf lady who makes strange burritos.
So, so the Winter Court, there's no one who would try and consider. Oh, so does anyone have any clue then where Oberon might be? The actual Oberon, not the guy who Hera just offed in his chair.
She doesn't know. Yeah. The only bit of information she has is, yeah, she knows Lilith came in and conquered the Feylands. That's all she's got.
Then that brings an interesting question, which I'm sure is a question you want us to ask, which is why did we have to bring Lilith there if she was already there, or if that wasn't actually Lilith, or what was going on? Like I get it, like
Good
him looking
question.
Yes, I mean that's an obvious question, but it's like, okay, why did we have to bring her there?
Yeah.
But she
just know that I have foresight.
Yes, yeah, obviously, but we're a little in the dark, as is the plan.
Yeah.
That's just very odd that unless it's not well, I mean, but it wasn't Lilith though. That was the thing. It was Hera.
Let's take a minute out of story for a second and think about it. Okay. So how did you meet Lilith or Lady Hez, right? How did you meet Lady Hez?
Well, they were tearing up a garage.
Right. They were attacking. You guys were in London. You were going to go somewhere to find Remdar Step, which turns out to be, pretty important. And then all of a sudden, you had this strange thing going on with Stygians. This Malak Vey, a Stygian lord, pretty high level dude, right? Coming out and wanting to speak to Dove because a Lord Rahl is wants to destroy the world. Yada yada yada. And I'm assuming you guys are paying attention enough to realize that Lady Hez, a la Lilith, a la Hera, was completely in charge of that situation, not him. Right?
Yeah.
Right. You guys caught that, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I tried to be, obvious about it. And therefore, the only thing you know about Lord Rahl wanting to destroy the world is from them. Right?
So, for all we know, Rahl doesn't. Well, no, but no, we heard. I thought we heard from there was somebody else, I thought, who gave us information that
The other lords are running around too.
Yeah, no. His people are certainly moving around. That's for sure. But Lord Stedigir, to be specific, which you know of, and of course the ascended Maggie did show up, right? But no, think about who has told you everything you know. Where have you gotten your information? Think about it.
Dove.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a major part of it.
If you think of every little piece of information I've given you since we started this, every piece of information you've gotten is third party oriented. All of it. Everything that you've learned and seen with your own eyes has not been what it seems. Every time, right?
We're just getting led along. essentially by
You
other
are.
people's
You
schemes.
are. We're. Let me choose the correct word. Pawns.
Patsy.
I am
Okay.
the what am I? The lamb? No, not the lamb. The child.
You are the.
No,
No.
you're the lamb.
You are the lamb. Yes, you are.
I am the lamb, and you're
But
the whatever.
I'm just saying, all
Sounds
the
like
information
sacrificial
you
things.
have is coming from people now that you must question, right?
Yeah.
Malik Vey presented himself with a very a serious situation that Dove took serious, right? Because you don't know if Dove is corrupt or not. Dove could simply be being played too. You don't know that, but you know the
Yeah.
information about what Lord Raoul was up to is coming from this dude. And you know that this dude was 100% under the control of Lady Hez. Matter of fact, if you remember, after he was injured and he was being worked on, he was rather gloomy to her, kind of like Titania was, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have made that direct.
No, you wouldn't.
Uh,
No. I
yeah.
wouldn't. I'm trying to be very subtle, but we're
Yeah.
at a point now that it's all the shit is hit the fan and it's out of the bag. So look at all the little hints and stuff I've given you over time, the little things I've given you, and put them together, right? All the information you have about what's going on is coming from this kind of source. And even though you don't know what Hera's doing, she's clearly not doing anything in your benefit. She has murdered the Phalanx, right? She rules there. That's weird, right? Why was she hiding as a Stygian princess? There's a lot of questions, but I mean, you have to question now. Now that it's out of the bag, you have to question everything I've said to you because I've given you. Actually, you guys know what's going on. You just haven't put it together yet.
Like
We're getting played by Dove.
intention. Well, I mean, we don't even know if Dub's like he was saying. We don't even know if
You don't
Dove
know.
is getting played too. It's just we need to find answers, but really,
Paul,
there's
You really,
no
really
one.
do. You really,
Paul?
really do. And you
Get-
know. No, hold on a second, lady. Hold on a second. You guys know of your own accord that Baron Stediger is in Boston. You know this. This is not a lie. You know that's true. You saw Lord Rull. You saw this. You were there, right?
They could have been illusions.
No, that's not the angle. That's not the angle.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's not.
I'm giving you what you know. Okay, you
Yeah.
know that the Ascended, who don't communicate with you people, because you're beneath them, but they did send a whole bunch of magi, and there's one sitting right here in Boston, the Sentinel, Alora, right? These are things you do know. You do know that Anthony Priscatelli is freaking awesome.
Yeah, we do.
You do know
But
this.
I mean, he's not going to be able to tell us what's going on here.
He don't know shit. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. He don't know shit. Yeah.
Right now we're trying to just dig around in the dark.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, try to
It's
put
time
together.
to go see us, Alora.
Try to put
Yeah,
together what
I
I've been
think.
telling you, the story I've been telling you. Try to put the A's and B's together. And of course, you know exactly where you need to go. You do. Think about it. And it's not Anthony. Anthony will put on his wife put on some good pasta for you. He will. Anthony's great, but it ain't Anthony.
Should we go speak to Raul himself?
That's kind of what I was thinking, but that's a dangerous gamble. But
Look,
I mean,
we've been doing dangerous gambles this whole time. Everyone that gave us any information about the man wanted us dead, and if Raul holds all the Atalani, that means he may held some ability to kill Hera, which is very useful. I say we talk to him. And whatever he's done has not been affecting me, so
well,
he must.
You don't even know
We
where
don't-
Raul is.
Ah.
You never met him.
yeah,
Well.
but I mean, we don't know exactly where he is. I mean, we know generally where he is, but if we talked to Stedigear, if we talked to if we found his lieutenant, his actual people,
Mhm.
maybe they can guide us to him.
That's a way to go. But do keep in mind, try to remember, what do you know that you know is true? Because there's a lot you know that is not true. This you do know. But there are a few things you know that are true. There are a few things that you have done yourself, things that you have been told yourself.
We know where Osiris is.
You know where Osiris is.
It's true. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's always. I mean, at least that's something, you know. But again, we don't really know if the seer is playing along, just playing along, and he's really leading us along like everyone else, or we just don't know. But it's something to go on. It's better than nothing. So, worst comes to worst, we can always find study gear after.
Well, Jaro would say to that point, because you guys are actually in a relatively safe place. Julia doesn't care about any of it. The elves don't usually anyway. As you can see, their elves have refugees themselves into the mortal world, and they haven't bothered to tell anybody about it, have they? But that's elves for you, right? But she doesn't give a shit. All the humans in here or they're eating their burritos. They don't care. This is a fairly safe place. However, Jaro knows that Road or Seer Prin, he's not a lying type.
Okay. Well, let's go do what we were kind of planning on doing before, anyways. And yeah, I get we'll talk. We'll go find Osiris. Maybe there's some more answers there.
Although the steady gear would have got you there too, though. It would have. It just take longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
an
not.
option.
It wasn't a bad.
But...
No, it's not a bad idea. But this is simply more direct. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just go find. It would be actually a fun little thing to go to. I should have shut up. Actually, that might have been fun.
I would have. Anthony might have been able to help with that one, because I think before he was
Actually,
like,
Anthony would have been the right person to talk to because he knows exactly where Steadigear is. That's true.
yeah.
But that's all right. That would be longer, and we kind of need to progress some information today, so we'll skip that. But that would have been fun. That's not a bad idea. So yeah, you know that of course Seer Prin told you very clearly. He answered your one question that Osiris is in Turkmenistan in Balkanabet, specifically at the Kerman compound.
Unless anyone has any objections or other ideas, let's go there.
Finn went to the restroom. He'll be right back.
Okay. So we wait for him to get out of the bathroom at
Hey, Eric Hawkins.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
He said Julia Lovechild. Question mark.
I did
Julia
who?
Lovecraft. No, I mixed
He
it
wrote
up.
Lovechild. Sorry.
I took the Julia and I took the Lovecraft and I put it together because it's genius, Eric.
It is.
No comment.
Thank you.
All right.
No comment.
So we're going to the Kerman compound.
You are.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is very handy, and keep in mind, you guys not only eventually you're going to have to commit to a battle or two, right? You're going to have to commit.
Yeah, but we're
eventually
getting thrown into battles that are a bit overwhelming, I think. Now maybe they're not.
You could have handled Hera might tore you a new ass.
Yeah.
But no, but it's very handy. It's also a huge benefit because you're the only people, other than say the Atalani potentially, that can move freely. It's a huge advantage actually for you, right? And especially now that you're starting to understand your role in all this little by little. Anyway, you arrive because it's easy to find this thing, and you look it up on Paul goes to Google Earth, and you find a picture, and where I found this picture, and you boom, a couple of old Muslim ladies out there cleaning up dirt off of dirt. Don't know why you clean dirt off of dirt, but you do that. So
hey, that looks like cement she's on with the broom.
I know. I was being
okay. All right.
Classist. Okay, thank you.
Right.
But anyway, actually, I would love to go to Balkanabat, any place on the Caspian. I'm interested in going. But anyway, you guys are standing outside here. This is, oh, by the way, Jaro, this is sitting on the eastern coast of the Caspian Sea, just in case you didn't know the geography. So you guys are standing outside, a couple old ladies, one of them goes running inside, and then within mere moments, as you guys are looking at this compound, a person walks out. And I know at least two of you are in instant combat mode.
Hey,
Using the eye on him.
it's the guy.
It's the guy.
Mhm.
It all where we all started out from the very, very, very first session, Ambergast. Now, just to remind everybody, and of course tell Tower and Puffin because they weren't here, our main first starting characters, which GOP and Lady remain, and then the other one I showed in the beginning. They were all captured, 11 and a half, 12 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
11 years ago. And they were being used as sacrifice in a ritual. This is the guy who captured them. This is the guy who was leading it. A dove team came in and there was a big battle. He disappeared. You don't know what happened to him. And everybody here was those four sacrifices were harshly affected, and they were able to save everybody's life. But what happened was they became tethered. They're all tethered, which is different. And tethered are we still don't know the mystery of the tethered yet, but they are people who are directly tethered to the Umbra, therefore magic just literally channeling through them. Quite different than Tower's character here, who is an order member. He's an actual wizard, right? He uses the Umbra. He has a connection in a very different way. However, this is the dude. These guys are terrified, particularly Lady, because this creepy old guy was literally stripping them naked and murdering them with a bunch of other cultists.
I was a 9-year-old kid.
You
Okay.
were not. Yes, you were. So this is traumatic. But just to kind of catch everyone up listening, and also Tower and Puffin, this is the first bad guy they ran into, and he changed their life.
So pulling out the axes.
Well, let's see what they do. Lady and GOP, what do you do? Because Tower and Puffin wouldn't react particularly to him. Although Jaro, you do recognize him. We'll get to that in a minute. GOP.
I'm at a bit of a loss, but I'll go. You. Why are you here?
Lady.
I'm just a little bit shocked,
Shield up and looking at the phone, look and see if it's like it's an illusion or whatever.
Nope.
See the real him.
You see exactly what you see.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Standing behind the big guy.
So Tower and
kid,
Jaro, Max goes into automatic combat mode.
I go, what are you doing with Osiris? That's what I say.
You're finally starting to catch on, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I am.
Come in then.
I have my hand on my hip, but I'm following cautiously.
Okay.
I'm not moving. I can't move forward.
Do I need to pick her up under my arm and walk in there?
You can.
Yeah. Look over at Lady like, we need answers. No one else is giving it to us.
Oh, she's not sobbing that loud, but I see these big tears rolling down her eyes. Her body's shivering.
Okay.
I will.
Go ahead, Joe.
I will put, catch one of those tears with my finger and basically tell her we have lost too many to falter now. All of our demons are going to come back to haunt us before this is over. We must.
Like, starts pounding her head against his chest or something.
Aww. Okay. So eventually you do follow him into the compound. It's not a very big building, but it's big enough. And if you weren't on ready alert already, when you walk into the main room, standing from
all the bad guys are there.
A sitting position are all the bad guys. Lord Raul is in this room. You see him.
Like the dead ass, the real Lord Raoul, or the fake
real
dead?
Lord Raul. Yes.
Oh, shiznit.
I'm going to piss myself.
Okay.
It's okay.
So nobody jumps to the sword. Okay, fine. Now,
No.
go ahead, GOP. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Tower might want to turn one of those Tootsie Rolls into a diaper if
Yeah. Well, now there's a
Good
little
thing
bit
my
of
lady?
suit is absorbent. Yeah.
now Jaro.
Yes.
They're all upset and worried. They're calling him Lord Raul and him Ambergast, and you're a bit confused because you know exactly who they are, and boy, do they look bad, dude. They look as bad as Sidon did, as bad as Cersei did. Any of the Atalani that you have seen here,
Mhm.
other than you, for some reason, you don't understand what's going on, right? But all
Mhm.
these Atalani that are on the mortal coil are looking bad, dude. They're old and withered because you know exactly who these two are. Matter of fact, one of those is your actual king. And of course, as
Mhm.
you walk into the room, and they look worse, and you guys notice this too. Although Ambergast kind of looks the same as he did, Lord Raoul is withered and he's in bad shape. And he's only been out a year or so, right? But he don't look good. And of course, as you come in the room, Jaro is there's no way he's
Mhm.
not going to officially bow to these two men.
oh wow.
Exactly.
Oh, holy shit.
I
That's
will bow to the king.
well, I'm glad we didn't confront Ninma.
Yeah, you know who she is now?
Um
Cyrus?
no. She wouldn't be Osiris. I'm still
Athena? No, Odin. That's not Odin's daughter. I'm sorry, that's Greek. Not.
Who's Odin's wife? Was it Freya?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. She said that she was very worried and upset about the situation. She was in the room with you, right? So she knows when she saw her father. She knows. She called him Lord Rawl just like everybody else did, though. Keep that in mind. But of course, she would be Nephis, right? Which makes perfect sense. Look at all the snake motifs and all the wing motifs and all the things I was putting around her, right?
oh,
I know I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard. I know.
I know. Damn it. Um okay, I'm after everything
Smooth
I've
criminal.
seen, I'm almost not even surprised at this point.
Well, you don't know who they are, but
That's
you're going to
true, I
know
know.
because Jaro is going to do what he should do, and he's going
Mhm.
to acclaim them and to because these men he 100% respects, and of course Osiris
Mhm.
specifically is his actual king from the area he came from. So
Mhm.
he's going to acknowledge them. Go ahead, so that they know who they are.
Lord Osiris, Father Odin, it is good to see you again, and I will kneel before the king. Like a knight would, down on one leg up, resting the elbow, head down, axe out, buried into the ground.
You see, Jaro names them Osiris and Odin, and he's bowing on the ground. What do you guys do?
I whip out the Excalibur.
You do?
Well,
I'm
like in a peaceful way, like what he's doing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
okay. All
Do
right, I
you?
was just making sure you weren't gonna we weren't gonna be getting into a fight here.
Oh yeah, I could end the whole campaign right now if I was that retarded.
I look over at Tower, just making sure that he's not gonna do anything dumb,
Mhm.
and I guess I'll do like a cautious little bow because I'm kind of the things are starting to click, but like there's just been so much going on that my character's just kind of still pretty hesitant, especially considering, you know,
It is a bit
who we have in
overwhelming.
front of
That's
us.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And lady,
Puffin had to put me down before he could go bow before his king, right?
he did. Yes.
Did you put me on my feet or did you put me on my butt?
Um,
Fucking
I'm
I'm the
probably
slammed
gonna-
into
barbarian.
the
I'll let you
ground.
decide.
Yeah, I ended up on my butt then. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Osiris is super respected gentleman type, right? He is a king of wisdom. He is a good man. Matter of fact, Jaro has never heard a bad word against him. Odin, on the other hand, he's a bit troublesome sometimes.
Yeah, one could say.
One could
Just
say.
from the lore.
When the appropriate time has passed, I will then stand up, sheath axes, and stand like a soldier.
They are both standing, although it does bring a mote of sadness to you, Puffin, because you do know both these men, but Osiris, you know most and best, and it's just it's so sad to see him looking so bad. Look how bad he is. Now, you guys remember the picture I showed you originally, right?
What?
And I just re-showed
More
it
the hat
again.
than anything else.
Yeah,
Not that, no, not him. I'm talking about Lord Rawl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lord Ra looks
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
he's way different. He's emaciated. He's lich-like. Now he is the god of the dead, and there's a whole story behind that, which we're going to get into here in a second. So, he says, Osiris speaks, and Odin remains quiet. He says, "It is good to see you, Jaro. To have a strong, brave general like you. It is good in times like this."
Thank you, my king. I have a message from the seer.
And what does Road say?
It is stirring. It will not sleep for long.
We know. That is why we're here.
Is that why Hera has taken the Feylands, to try to run and flee?
We fear that Hera has been listening to the whispers of Shamyaza. We fear that her goal is to rise him. That is why we are here. If you do remember, we put him in the water long ago.
And
you guys are sitting on the eastern coast of the Caspian, just to remind you.
My character is very confused, but yes, I'll let
I know
you guys
you're
keep
confused. Jaro will unconfuse it. Go ahead.
In the water, though.
No, you were going to say something. I interrupted. Go ahead.
As he should stay. But if she is given into madness and has set the events in motion, then I stand with you, my king, as a general at any point that you will need me.
That is good. However, the first thing that we are glad you are here. We need stronger hands, for we have become weaker. We do not know the magic that is being played upon us by Hera, but all of us here, except you. He looks over at Odin and he says, "Why is that?" Odin indeed says, and I'm going to show a moment of disappointment with GOP. I'm disappointed.
What did I do this time?
Look at Ambergast's picture.
Yes.
Does he not look like Odin?
Yeah, he does, but I wouldn't have necessarily automatically made that assumption.
Well, yeah, but I searched a long time for these pictures. Because does he not look like Osiris now? Doesn't he? Now that you see it.
Yeah, now that you say it, yes, it makes sense. It just there's no way I would have connected those dots.
No, I know, but I've been trying to drop subtle. Every episode, I'm dropping hints. But finally, I get. You know how long I've been waiting? Yeah. Okay.
Very long.
Very long. But anyway, here we are. Odin thinks that is important, and of course, you notice the monocle in his eye actually kind of turns and adjusts. It doesn't look like any kind of technology; it just looks like a monocle, but it's obviously something. And he kind of steps forward, and looking at you, Jaro, and he starts. He's smoking. He's constantly smoking, and he's takes a puff and he uses the smoke to surround you, and he's doing all kind of magical things around you. Does anyone do anything, or just does you wait?
It's not protest, then I don't do anything. I do record it now. I'm getting my groove back.
That's fine.
I get down with the sickness.
Okay.
Fine.
I don't know what's going on, but Puffin seems to, and since everyone else has lied to me at this point, I'm going to see what happens.
The bad guys are good guys. The good guys are bad guys.
Yes.
Nothing is as you seem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Puffin's a real one, G. That's all we need to know. Yee.
It's a good spy novel. But Puffin, are you going to resist the magicking of yourself?
Normally I would, but not in front of the king.
All right. So Odin magics you, and he's trying to figure out because you're here and you've been here for a long time before this started, right? Because as far as what the information you have, this started 11 years ago, right? Which is interesting. That's about the same time you started. Maybe that brings up questions. He says he stops. He finishes what he's doing. He looks over at Osiris and he says, "I'm not really sure, but it might have something to do with his regeneration." And Osiris just nods, and then Osiris steps forward because this is more his field than anything. He reaches out and he puts his hand on your head,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden, Osiris and Jaro begin to glow with this heavenly golden light, and then quickly Osiris takes it off, and it actually looks like he gains an extra crack on the face from doing it. And he says he is affected. His regeneration is keeping him young. He looks at Odin as he says this. Odin's like, "Oh my!" But it can't be. It can't be more powerful energy than Ea. He's like, "I don't think so." But it's certainly not good. They're having a conversation amongst themselves, as elite would do in front of you. And yeah, and you're starting to get the idea, Jaro, that you are being fed off of. You just don't know it.
By
And
who?
in some Hera, right? They said Hera's magic is doing this to them, right? They don't know what magic she's using, right? But they were a little concerned about that for a moment, but then they come back to their senses and say it's certainly not as strong as Ea. No, I agree. We need to stick on our plan and find him. Now, you guys don't know who Ea is. Jaro knows who Ea is, and of course, you would call him the Oberon.
Mm-hmm. The imposter was slain by Hera, cast aside like a spent.
Yes, well, this all might have been averted. This is Odin speaking. This might have all been averted if the elves weren't freaking elves.
I raised my hand because I've been sitting here quietly, like, yeah, there's still a lot of gaps, stuff you guys are talking about. I don't know who some of these people are. But a quick question: why did you try and kill us?
Odin looks puts his focus on you for the first time, really, and he says, "Because you're part of the plan."
Care to elaborate on what this plan is?
To stop the rising of Shamyaza.
Okay, and
Uza?
just in case I was someone who didn't know what that was,
That-
let's pretend for a minute. Who is it?
I will tell you myself, so that he does not have to trouble with such details, nor invoke the creature's attention by uttering its name.
Okay.
I will look to Osiris to ask if, basically with a gaze, if I can tell them the story.
It is a secret we have kept for thousands of years, but it is upon us. Please do, my son.
I will attribute it to a name that you can more easily grasp, but long ago everything was made as a result of Shelbioth. You would more likely call the creature something similar to Cthulhu.
Oh,
Call of
jeez.
Cthulhu.
The
Fucking
creature has
shit.
been bound. We bound it generations ago within the Caspian Sea. Not a few miles in that direction, I can hear its umbral whispers emanating out into the aether, like 1,000 choruses of soldiers robbed of life in an instant. The creature is far more terrible than I can possibly describe, and Hera has succumbed to its whispers. You saw how those around her were driven mad with desire to be near her, because the more you surrender to the creature's power, the more you surrender to what it vainly offers you, desire. But in all things it is a parasite. Though we may have come from it, we are better than it. That is why you all exist. We all come from that monster, but we must sleep. Its time is over.
So, what next then?
Well, we'll get to that. This conversation goes on a little bit with Odin mainly interacting. Osiris is a quiet man. But just to make it more plain for everyone listening, you did it. That was great. Thank you, Puffin. Basically, the elder gods created all life on this planet, right? And they created the Atalani to be their slaves, their servants. And so it was for a long time. Other than just simply building things or growing things or doing the various things slaves would do, they also enjoyed torturing and eating and all those kind of things. And the Atalani survived this for a very long time, constantly being produced in a kind of a laboratory setting type of thing. They did not have the ability to procreate. And then just to give our backstory, because this is kind of the the main part of our campaign here. But eventually, there was a decision made amongst the elders and Shamyaza or Cthulhu, but Shamyaza being the prominent of them. Gave the order to the rest, which it turns out they found was created by him as well. So, in the beginning, there was Shamyaza. Nevertheless, to allow them to procreate because it would be easier. However, when they started procreating, their offspring, although initially powerful, were different than them. Because keep in mind, the Atalani are all called demons, and they are in a way because of the way they're created, but they're not like what you know as a demon. It's slightly different, but the classification is the same. However, um, uh, when they were able to start procreating, the Atalani's children are what we call humans. And that's why humans can actually use magic. Some of them, right? It's been a long time and the gene pool has been degraded for sure. However, something changed in the Atalani when this happened because it's the one thing to have the gods literally eating you. It's another thing for them to eat your children. Slightly different emotion, right? And eventually they rose up and overthrew their masters in a great war, and they killed everything. The Atalani did. It's their great shame, right? Incredible amounts of bloodlust was going on during that time, and Jaro was part of it, right? And in the end, they were able to defeat Shamyaza, but they couldn't kill him, and many argued they shouldn't. because he is literally the progenitor. And then things went on after that, and then after that is the history that world knows. I don't need to get into that, but that's what is explained to you in this situation, vaguely or not. That's what happened. So this is what we're looking at here. And over the years, not only during those wars, the Elder God wars, and wars that went after, because humans are people, and the Atalani are people, right? They're the progenitor of the human race. They continue to make war to the point that most of the original Atalani do not exist. There's very, very few of them. Matter of fact, you got a lot of them in this room. So that's our information that we get from that. Now, I'm going to go put hot water on. You guys are going to discuss what you want to do next. Their opinion, which I already stated, is that they want to find Lord Oberon. They need to get him. They think that's important because he is, and Jaro would tell you as well, that he is the greatest amongst the Atalani. He's not. He's a king as well, but he's the greatest because he's the greatest of the creators. Because after it, they started. Of course, their children were just humans, but all the other mystical creatures in the world, demons, things like that, the Atalani created. The high ones did. The aristocrats did. The normal, rank and file like Jaro didn't. Okay, I'm going to put a hot runner on. You guys make a discussion.
Okay. Well,
So
that's
now you know.
yeah, that's a lot. Um. Well, we should probably share with them everything that we know, just to try and level the playing field. Like uh, because we know there's also Sidon or Loki out there, and what his role in all this is.
I think that Sidon may be protecting us in a way,
Yeah.
keeping his artifact active. You would think if he was against us, all this using of it, he would have at least once sent us to a place that we were not supposed to go. I think he wants this to succeed. He can't keep killing if he's drained to nothing.
Yeah. A good point.
But if you guys way back then could not kill this thing, this first one, I will just refer to the first one. What makes you think we can do it now? Unless you want to nuke it. Don't know if that had anything else would help.
I think we're trying to stop the
awakening.
Yeah, I think
stop Hera from doing what she's doing.
Yeah. That's the goal. But
GOP, I'm so happy. I've been waiting months to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Zeus?
Dead. You know he's dead. You saw him fall. That's what I mean. The actual original Atalani, the firstborn, the progenitors. There's very few of them left. You don't really know how limited it is because you've been out of action for several thousand years, right? And you still don't know who left you in the damn
the ice.
In the eye. Okay, you can say it that way. You still don't know why you were left in. You have no clue about that, right? But even at the time of the first Dynasty Wars, where you fell in battle, there were not a lot of Atalani left at that time either. I mean, they're the original, the firstborn, are very few left. Humans
He's
are the
Captain
inheritors.
America.
No, it's not.
He's Captain.
It's not. It's more as Stargate SG-1 really than it is.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if any of my children are still alive.
They might be. I mean, especially if they had any kind of magic that's possible. But the humans have inherited the Earth. Is basically what's happened. There's very little Atalani left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
I was
know
just thinking
number. Yeah. Go ahead.
If I could find my children, if they had inherited my regeneration, they may still be alive.
Certainly possible. Yeah, it's certainly possible, especially because you are an original Atalani. So any children you have will be much closer to the source, right? Because
Hmm.
most of humanity is so many generations away from the Atalani that they're, well, human. They're not very
Hmm.
useful in this regard. But
Hmm.
that's simply time has created that. The children, like say Ninma, right?
Hmm.
Those early children are not the level of an Atalani, but they are no joke. Yeah.
I was just thinking, it's like if for however long Jaro was out and about,
Oh,
he was kind of Conan-ish. You know, he he probably has a lot of little scamps running around. Like, could
Well,
make a task force to at least cover my back.
well,
All right,
that's
kids, I need you to go mess them up. All right, Dad.
He's
yeah.
well,
So
sonically
that would
saying
take a
his
lot of
character
time and
sucks.
research that you don't really have.
hmm
However, that's not a bad idea for future reference. However, you Jaro, for for ease of story, you were
Hmm.
one of the last laboratory created Atalani. You were in one of those last batches before they passed the law that the Atalani were made to be able to make children. So you're toward the end of that. So we'll say that you're probably more like 13,000, 14,000 years old, something like that.
Hmm.
Where Osiris was literally the first batch, as was Odin.
Hmm.
These guys are 40,000 years old.
Hmm.
Yeah. For most
Yeah.
of human, and keep in mind the Atalani are human, right? That's why they
Hmm.
look like you, because they are. But they were they were prisoners and slaves for a very, very long time, and
Kind of
it,
like the
yeah.
Shoggoth to the Elder Things.
Yes, exactly. Or the elders are the Shoggoths to Shamyaza,
Hmm.
right? But yes. You see these themes. I just changed names and things and ideas because I thought it was cool.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. That's right. Yeah. But yeah. So you guys have gained a lot of understanding. Of course, you gained a big secret too. The Atalani murdered their creators. That's a big one. But these guys too here, right here, and my water is probably ready for me here in a second. But these guys right here, their opinion. But you, even those of you who aren't of Jaro's, because he's got a bunch of little powers of what he can hear and see and stuff, because he's actual Atalani. But even for you youngins, GOP and Lady, you can tell these guys are Osiris and Odin are really weak. You could probably take them all by yourself, GOP. That's how weak
well,
they are. Yeah,
yeah. Well, now I mean, I probably would have in the if this was a week ago.
right. Now when Osiris came out, being called Raul, right, which is very interesting to you. I did show you the Duat earlier, didn't I? I showed you a picture of the Duat, but it didn't look like the Duat. Seer Prince showed you an image of the Duat. It looked like Stygia, right? So something's going on that is on grand scale. Hera is directly behind it. These two have said that she's clearly been listening to the whispers of Shamyaza, right? So, meaning that they don't know exactly what's going on either.
So you wouldn't know how a bunch of Stygians are in Umbral bastions like Shiloh.
Mm. Osiris answers that, and he says, there are powerful Atalani magics. I mean, the Asmodean exists within the Umbra as well, right? Because that was a gift that, no, I don't
Yeah.
think it was intentional, but that was a gift that humanity picked up that the Atalani don't have, nor any demon. The humans, if they can gain access to magic, can travel the Umbra. The Atalani cannot so easily. However, keep in mind that when you went through the gates with Ramdar Steppe, you brought Jaro with you.
Yeah.
That was another hint, and I've thrown dice at the screen, GOP.
Well, sorry. It's
It's not our fault we're retarded, Chester.
No, you best dumb it down.
Okay.
You see me? I feel Chester, I turned fucking Tootsie Rolls into crumpets and shit. You know?
I know. I leave a banana next to me to remind me the tower is here.
Somebody's got to keep you knowing that God does exist.
That's true. I'm going to go pour my water here, and
Do your coffee.
I will. Now, keep in mind, these guys are super old, super wise, but there's no power here to help you out in much way, although they're going with you, and you ain't stopping them. They're the girl on the team.
I'm the team. I'm
I
joking.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a way? I'll do the ritual whenever you get back.
Oh, okay. I'm going to just pour the water. I'll be back in a second.
So between you two, Puffin and Chester, when did y'all dig all this stuff up? Did he send you an email or something, Puffin?
I'm not at liberty to disclose that information. GM confidentiality,
Right.
one GM to another.
Listen to this, GOP. He's almost as bad as you. Why did I bring Puffin in?
I don't know. I mean,
And what was going to happen if I didn't bring Puffin in?
it probably would have.
collapsed.
Yeah,
Probably
we'd probably
die.
all be dead, and
No,
I'd be
because
pissing
I
my
have
pants.
the power. Hey, Chester fucked up when he gave me the power to infinitely yeet us the shit out of him situations.
well, no, he didn't. Well, he didn't. We decided because you're the magic character that
Yeah.
it made sense for you to have it. Now, if we had our original characters, then
It might have gone to GOP.
yeah, it probably would have gone to my guy since he was
I
the more
have
magical.
clutched us with that thing though before.
What's up?
I have clutched us with that thing though.
Yeah, no, I mean, there.
GOP.
Yeah.
Jaro's
It's the only part about this that I play well.
What
is
was
going to
that?
ask your character if he would step outside with him for a moment.
Okay.
Before you do that, real quick though, I do have one question. In this conversation that's been going on here for a while, with the elders here, did you mention your interaction with Mirzin, Sidon, and Cersei?
I was going to talk to you about that. So I would have since these guys are on my side, as far as I know, I mean, with how things shift, but at least Puffin seems to not be trying to kill us, and he's vouching for him. So I mean, that's more than I have with anyone else.
Sure.
So I mean, we kind of give them the relevant information. I don't think because it is interesting why they would send us to get Excalibur, especially if they know that these guys would be drained. Like what is the purpose then? Because we didn't.
Do you ask them this?
Well, I mean, Tower already showed them Excalibur too, by the way. So.
I did whip it out.
He did, but there was no conversation though. He was just simply saluting.
True. I mean,
well, you're right here in front of two of the elder Atalani.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask them?
I'm sharing all relevant information about what we've seen so far because
I look at them and ask them why it glows when I whip it out.
Odin looks at you sideways, and you don't want that because he's got fucking ravens, dude.
Oh,
And wolves.
Why can't he just tell? What the fuck is he gonna do? He's an old crippled ass man. I just want to know why.
I look over at you with daggers in my eyes in a way I have never looked at you before, and I'm just like, do you really want
oblivious to who he's talking to? Yeah.
to piss off a god?
I asked Paul
okay.
to drain
I
all of
to
Tower's
to
characters'
mitigate the situation.
money
I whip out a
accounts.
Oh,
Tootsie
very
Roll.
good. That's good.
To mitigate
You're
the
now
situation, I whip
broke,
out a
Tower.
Tootsie
You're
Roll,
broke.
and
Okay.
He's not a
Wait,
winner.
wait,
I don't.
no. I can fix it. Give me 1 second, Chester. I whip out a Tootsie Roll and I turn it into a delicious thing of ambrosia and hand it to him.
Neither one of them are Greek.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
It's fucking Odin.
Cultural insensitivity, Tower. Okay. Now I don't want to go too far because I want Puffin to continue what he's doing.
yeah.
So
Okay, I walk out with
let me just answer the question here. Okay. So what is our time? Okay. You talk to him and they like I said, Osiris is very kind of quiet and he, to be fair, aloof. Odin is much more down to earth, right? And of course, he spent a lot more time in conversing with humans than Osiris has. But you tell him all that information, and he says, "Well, um, the same reason you needed Excalibur, you need it not only for Sidon, it's for us. If they can kill us with Merlin's creation." It will send all of our energy to whatever Hera is doing with it. If we were to die normally, most of our energy would be lost, but Excalibur would give her all of it. So I'm sorry to say,
Can we
son,
kill her with
no.
Excalibur?
No, we should probably not use Excalibur to kill any Etalani at all. That'd
maybe
probably be
not. But he says, sorry to tell you this, son, but you're as much a pawn of this as we were.
yeah, I'm kind of slowly figuring that one out. I don't like being a pawn.
No
one
one
does.
does.
Yeah. Jinx. Okay. Go ahead, Puffin. I'm sorry. Continue.
The long distance drink.
So,
It is. Like
just a quick thing to ask. GOP increases. I realized something with my character that
Okay.
I probably should do. With that XP that I had, I think it's 10 to bring it from a D8 to do a D10, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
then I'll
Yes.
do that on regeneration because I was going to take something else and realize it was horrendously redundant to have invulnerability and regeneration. So,
Yes.
Since he has a stronger regeneration now, Jaro is going to ask if there is a way, since it probably only be effective to one or the other, if Jaro could transfer part of his regeneration to one of them to just basically help them not wither. You know what I mean?
That's a good
Like
point.
reduce him from a D10 down to a D8 where he was before, but one of them is, rejuvenated.
And
Where
it's
it
good.
just doesn't.
And no, I understand exactly what you're saying. And Odin, of course, is the best dude to ask because he's the wisest person on the planet, right? And magically, especially, he knows everything in that regard. So he's the perfect guy to ask that question. He says he answers that question. It is not a bad idea, and he looks over at Osiris, and you can see a bit of sadness in his eye because Odin respects him too, right? But I'm afraid if you did that, one, I'm sure it might well alert Hera. We don't know what she's doing or how she's collecting it, but it's very possible she'd know something's going on, and we cannot have her know our location. One, two, because if she did, two, it would probably kill you.
But is not my life worth it for the king?
Your life is more valuable in the fight. And Osiris nods his head.
I could have come up with a solution for the first one, but not the second one. Sorry, bud. I pat Puffin on the. I pat Jaro on the shoulder.
So now, Jaro, you wanted to take GOP outside. What was that for?
Oh, I'm going to just walk outside with him. And it's like, GOP, there's something.
Or his name is Lyons.
Lions, there's something that, and this is the first time he's ever called him by name, because I don't think I've ever addressed the party individually. I'm usually standing in the background like I was before.
Mm-hmm.
Lions, there's something that you will know, or you must know about me before the others, that regeneration is not a power that I have innately. It is given to me, well, away from everybody where no one else can hear. It is given to me by a special belt that was with me since I was made. If it's separated from me, it loses its ability. But made out of strong stuff, it's not something easily removed or broken. But I tell you that my innate power is not regeneration. My innate power is something far more akin to your legends. And I'm just going to, have him watch me. I'm going to pick up a boulder and just chuck it as far as I can.
Orbit.
Mm-hmm.
That's some arm. You should maybe think about
Play
playing
for the Yankees.
Yeah.
How dare you? You're based in Boston.
Yeah, but my character should
Admonish.
You know what? No, I'm gonna
White Sox.
Hey, should have played for the Cubs.
Oh, that's worse. Oh, that's so much worse.
He's a Chicago guy. Remember, my character came from Chicago.
Dude, they can't play the baseball and they can't make the pizza.
Hey, we got the best pizza.
I'm going to tell him, it's like, so now you understand why I haven't reciprocated any of your kind gestures, and I apologize. I might break you.
No worries, man. I'm actually kind of happy you got extra things up your sleeve. It helps in the future. So don't worry about it.
I have learned a trick though, and I'll pull out a roll of quarters and just like flick one, and you'll hear the bang.
Breaking sonic barrier.
Yep.
I got something similar to that.
720, I think.
I just kind of pull the pistol a little bit up out of the holster.
Yes. You have been very innovative in the years I've been sleeping. But let us return to them, and just know that I am not a unfriendly ally. I just realize your frailty.
Well, I mean, you haven't tried to kill us, so that's more than I can say about most of the friends we thought we had. Oh, by the way, so while we left, how are you handling all this? By the way,
she has her knees drawn up to her chest and one arm wrapped around it, and she's got Paul right in front of her, sitting on top of her knees, finding out who EA is, or whatever his name is.
Ea is an ancient god that,
just not looking at those, not looking at
99.9% of humanity has never heard of him. But he's an ancient god, and he's in the Sumerian legends, he is the creator of man, which is why I made him the great creator. Lady,
how hard would it be to shut down what connection, not the World Web, but the connection that the Dove Agency has to the World Web?
With Paul, I'd let you do that with a 19. It would be an ongoing assault, and it would take your attention and time. But you would have to.
How about a ping like we were seeing in Japan or Australia?
That would be easier. You could do that with a.
Yeah, that would be easier. Therefore, to draw their attention elsewhere.
And just so you know, the speed of sound is 343 meters per second.
Okay, I was wrong.
767 miles per hour. Just so you know.
Whatever.
Cool.
Just trying to help.
All right.
It's been a while since I looked up that statistic. Okay.
Yes. And if anyone's curious, 299,792 point. No, that's not right.
No, that's not right. No.
Well, if anyone's curious, I can count to 10 on my fingers.
Me
Yeah,
too.
no,
20 if I add my toes.
it's
Just sharing.
roughly 300. I can't remember the exact number now. Roughly 300,000 kilometers per second is the speed of light. So, okay, just felt like I had to share that. Can't remember that
Parsec.
damn number now. Oh, I used to know that number.
So do we? So she's not really looking, but she's finally talking. So do we need to put him back to sleep?
Well, you
Or
don't
do
know
we
his
need?
direct status now. The good thing is, well, you could talk to these guys and see if they knew, I suppose. And you just asked. So, uh,
Or do we need to put Hera back to sleep?
well, no, Hera
Permanently.
wasn't asleep. Hera's a
Oh.
troublemaker. You asked
Why
that.
can't
Okay, okay. You're working on doing your you were seen in Japan type of thing. And
Yeah.
you asked the question, and they say that because they came here for a reason to be near where Shamyaza is in prison. That's why they're in this place.
Right.
And they
I
say
figured that
that
part out.
as far that he is stirring, but he is not awakened. So there's your answer.
Essentially, the issue is resolved if we take out Hera.
It seems so. Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah.
So how do we take out Miss?
We need
You know-
Oberon.
You need Oberon, and you are also in the conversation because you mentioned everyone kind of nods their head at the same time when Marizin is mentioned. Odin said he's not going to be of any use, and even Jaro shakes his head because he's an ass and he's always been one. He's not going to be of any use. He's sad. They're both saddened to hear Cersei has passed. Also, although, to be fair, she was a bit troublesome. Not quite as bad as Hera, but she was quite troublesome as well. But it is sad to hear her pass.
Fun.
She was fun, though. She was fun.
How
Hera's
about
never been
Sidon?
fun. Sidon, who Jaro does not like, and Sidon is an evil Atalani. He is and has always been. However, they said it would be he is one of the aristocracy, though. It would be useful to have him by their side, even though you don't like it, Jaro. They both agree it would be good to bring Sidon in.
Well,
Where is Thor?
Thor is dead. He died. Well, you don't know when he died. You were in stasis.
I will be sad because I didn't know he was dead.
so as my story before might have alluded to, we do know who, or we do know where Sidon is. That is an option, is an extra,
Right. Well, they know because you just told them that, right?
Yeah. But we did kind of leave a assault team at the door, to watch over the place. So if we do try and get them, it's gonna be a fight.
Well,
considering they're looking for us.
They
think we're in Japan. I gave them a false lead.
are this assault team. Osiris speaks. He's been very quiet. Of what makeup are they?
I was there, so I was there, so I would know who all the because they were part of the office we were in, and I was very social anyway. So
they're all human.
Okay, that's all they were just inquiring about.
Which
I thought if they were
when he tries not to be rude, but he's not too concerned about that.
But one of them is our friend.
It's true.
Two of them.
Well, that's a problem for another week, not today.
Wait, was Jacob in that assault team that went there?
Yeah, he went himself. Yeah, that's right.
This is gonna be
head of security.
Sims did, right?
Sims
deleted. Yeah, Sims was leading it. Yeah,
Sims is leading.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You think maybe he'll believe us?
I mean, Jacob, we did work with Jacob for a while, so I might be able to convince him. Maybe.
Well, Jacob's not on that assault team, but he is
at
the Dove office though in Boston because he transferred.
Yeah, probably.
Remember?
You're right.
Yeah, no,
right.
He did. But I don't. Well, I wouldn't know how to be able to get a hold of it. Well, we could get a hold of him and hide the signal, But then again, we still don't know if in the end he ultimately is going to, side with us.
Right, you don't know the
Hey,
situation, although he is part of this in a way because he was created by Odin. You all were created by Odin.
biting her lip, she finally looks up. She goes, "Sir, what would happen if the 4 that you sacrificed were sacrificed?"
You were. You are exactly what you were going to be. That was a completely successful ceremony.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't supposed to be brought back to life?
No,
Were we?
Yeah, Odin says, now you're starting to ask questions about what the tethered are. And time is of the essence. I say we go to Greece and get Ia.
All right. I didn't pack anything. But I think we can make the journey.
I gotta
Light.
use the bathroom first.
Okay.
She's 19 years old.
Right. So you guys have all your little conversations and all your interactions and stuff like that.
We
But
go.
in the end, all of you, including Osiris and Odin, they are coming. All of you travel and Tower.
Yes.
You need to take us to Naxos, Greece.
To who's he Greece now?
We just show him it on a map.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing a satellite view.
And they show you a spot in the mountain forest, actually.
Oh, that looks cozy. We should buy a summer home.
And
Well,
not with how much money you got in your account.
Yeah, you broke.
No, actually,
Yeah, you
none
had
of
no
us would
money.
know that.
He doesn't
None of
know
us
that
would
yet.
know that. Only Lady
The
would
only
know
lady
if
knows. He's
she actually
broke,
did
man.
that.
He's completely broke. He actually owes $3 million in taxes now. Okay.
Wait,
So
what?
yeah, no, it's a bad day for you.
I tried to
Bad day,
whip out a
Mr.
Tootsie
Tootsie
Roll and
Roll.
turn it into a pie.
So you guys teleport and you go to Nexus, Greece, and I know that all my references are going on deaf ears. I know. Okay. But anyway, it is nighttime.
She's a Nexus. So, yeah.
No, that's not. No.
I'm joking.
Please don't hurt me. Please. Okay. But anyway, you're up here in the mountains over here where I have the pointer. You're in this area, in a very little known area of Danicus. It's a little teeny town, but you're in the forest just outside of the village, and you can see it here in the background. But as you guys walk up, Osiris starts speaking, and you see the ground before you begin to transform, and it turns into a face. It's kind of weird.
Really quick, I nonchalantly turn a Tootsie Roll into a $5 million note.
Fair enough.
A
Fair enough.
$5 million.
I'm glad you
No,
spoke
you're
up.
broke yet.
I'm glad
You don't know
spoke
that
up.
you're broke.
I'm glad you spoke up.
Cash
Okay.
is subverted.
Anyway, and as Osiris does this in a very noble way, the way he's speaking so eloquently, and even though he's weak of voice, he brings this portal into being. He Then Odin walks over and starts stomping on the thing's head, and in the water puddle here. And the thing is kind of screaming and moaning, and with the third heavy stomp, it disappears, and there is an opening in the ground. Osiris says, there is a password. Odin just shrugs his shoulders and heads down the hole.
All right, this is very strange. I follow.
Yes, that was my
I
Gandalf
am.
joke. That was a Gandalf joke. Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
No.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Thank you.
I follow GOP.
All right, so you guys go down in the hole, and as you head down this hole, there's like a ladder that turns into a rope bridge, and you guys are heading across this rope bridge. Up in the distance, you can see there is a cave complex beginning. You can see stairs and some ruins off in the distance. Not that far. You guys are heading along. However, as you go, you're in this cave, right? This kind of hollowed cave area. It's kind of interesting. But the roof starts shaking, dusts come down, and the roof itself becomes the face of Hera.
Oh,
And she says, "It doesn't matter what you do. In the end, what should happen shall happen."
so we're gonna get that fight anyways.
Those are bold words.
I'm no, you're not. But I'm anybody want to say anything before the elders speak?
I've
I
got nothing to say in this moment, so yeah, could have done a witty one-liner.
Okay, nothing. All right. Um, Odin speaks, and he says, "You are insane to rise, Shamyaza. Stop what you're doing now." She says, "You know what we did was wrong. We tried to destroy our creator. We destroyed all the elder gods. It is the most evil act ever done on this planet. I am simply righting that wrong. He will cleanse the planet of these filthy inheritors that we created with our dirty carnal activities. Will just the plague that is humanity. She's losing her words and
What's wrong
spitting at it.
with
We
nothing wrong with
must remove them,
sex?
cleanse the planet. Shamyaza will bring it anew. Osiris says, and make slaves. It is better to be a slave than to live with the stink of humanity. Osiris raises his hand, and she
We outlawed
gives.
slavery a
You
while
think
ago,
she's
lady.
about to say some very bad word, but the roof goes back to normal.
She makes an N sound.
Something.
then
Yeah, sure. Let's go
everything.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go with that.
yeah.
She's mad, but she is a foul creature anyway. She always has been. If you just go read the Greek mythologies or the Hellenic mythologies, if we want to be more accurate. But nevertheless, that was weird. But at least you kind of already knew, but now you kind of know more directly what her problem is. And of
I
course,
guess that's Miss Bitch. Okay.
yes, it is. You guys continue across this bridge, and you find yourself in these kind of. There seems to be. It looks like a cathedral underground. Is
okay.
what it looks like.
I'm going, Mr. GM. I'm going to just so we walk across this rope bridge. No Balrog. You
No,
had
no,
the
no. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give him a minute.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not pass!
Yeah.
Golem's gonna be jumping down from the ceiling trying to
Yes,
steal our magic
I
items.
know. I had a Lord of the Rings Gandalf joke, and then after that, I followed it up with a prophecy joke with one of my favorite actors there. What's his name in the prophecy? He plays Gabriel. Um, oh God, I can't remember his name. He's so funny. But anyway, that was another movie joke. I do apologize. Anyway, I'm on a roll. But you guys go into this cathedral that's broken and busted and flooded. At least ankle deep with water. Some places is a little higher. And you're heading along into here. And Osiris says, "Be on guard. He will be aware. He will certainly be guarded." So they know exactly where Ia is. They just needed some backup, right? Which you are. And you guys move a little bit forward, and in front of you, you see a mound of dirt that has these kind of bones or tusks or something sticking out of the top of it. In the nave of the chapel, which is the church area, which is a little bit beyond here, and then you see that Odin pulls out a spear like from his pocket, which is the weirdest thing ever.
It's so cool.
Yeah, Osiris is, in kind of magic user type of movement. Uh, so they're ready for something. So everyone here, are assuming, gets into initiative stance because,
Yep.
initiative.
I got my axes. And my axe.
And my ex-wife.
Yeah, that would be dangerous. But standing in front of you, you guys have no freaking clue what you're looking at. The Atalani do. A spawn of Shamyaza.
The Shoggoth.
Yes, the Shoggoth. And yeah, it's interesting because all three of you, of course, you're only thinking for yourself, Jaro. You thought you killed all them.
Son of a bee sting.
Yes. Anyway, initiative. Prepare to
Okay.
die.
Oh, we're doing this.
Oh
We
yeah,
got
you're
8
doing
minutes
it. Hell
left.
yeah, you are. This
Okay.
is a very large creature. You see these bones and shards below it. It's protecting that area, which you would assume that's where Ia is being held or imprisoned, or Oberon, I should just say, or the Oberon. And it has this tentacly eye thing, spawny thing. That's kind of weird noises, and it's got to eat you. So, initiative. This thing's initiative is not good. So, it's certainly last. Congratulations, lady.
They got 22 now.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
this thing is
Yeah.
below that. It's I guess by minimal default, I guess it's a 20.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
goodness. 'cause
it's
I
not
was
fast.
18.
It's not a fast thing, but every action it has is AoE.
Crap.
Oh, yippee. All right. Mine's a 34. I'm pretty sure Tower usually goes first, but I don't know what Odin and Osiris's.
Oh no, they go first.
Yeah. Okay.
And no, actually, Odin would go first, and then Tower. What's your number? GOP?
Oh, mine's 34.
And yeah, so it would be Odin, Tower, Osiris, you, Jaro, Lady, and then me finally. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll start with Odin. Odin holds up his spear, kind of floats in the air, and lightning rips out of his spear into this thing. Things lets out a wail, and but it rebuffs it. Now, although Odin gave it, he's got to kind of go to his old standards. Jaro, you know right well that your standard weaponry that you carry today is not going to have any extra effect against a spawn of Shamyaza. You know, the Shoggoth are not going to be affected with anything extra. So therefore, that lightning does very little to it. Uh, that's one of the things they have. Now, most of the magic and items that everyone's using here are not Atalani, right? Well,
Mhm.
that's actually a question, Puffin. Are your axes Atalani?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you know that if it has any kind of fire effect or electrical or any kind of extra magical effect, it's not going to, don't even apply it. It won't work. The cutting motion will. So
I was gonna ask. Should I hand? Since I have two axes, should I hand one to GOP? It's like I don't think the gun's gonna work very well here. Use this.
No, I thought it was. I
no,
thought
his
it.
gun is human made. It's not Atalani. These things made you, so they're not going to give you weapons that would hurt them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He has a human made weapon. He's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it might be more effective to flick coins at this thing like bullets.
Maybe. Although the cutting motion of the axe will work fine. It's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
any kind of extra like lightning damage or fire damage or cold damage or poison or any of those kind of extra magical effects that don't apply to any of the elder spawns, right? But anyway. So Una does that. And then that brings us down to Tower. Tower, this is a fight you can't run from.
You could, but I wouldn't.
No, you need to fight this fight. You
Yeah.
have to get EA. He's in prison. You need EA. Or Ia, sorry. Ia. Tower.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tower.
Said yeah.
Yeah.
Attack the giant
it is-
octopus-eyed creature who's about to eat you.
Your turn, Tower.
What would work better, fireball or the sword?
Use. Well, I mean, I'm assuming.
I wouldn't use the
I
sword.
don't know.
Yeah, don't use the sword. That's a bad idea.
Okay. I'm going to cast fireball then.
Okay. Go ahead and cast it. However, well, just go ahead and cast it. We live and learn, right? And I did something and led the dice on here, but that's all right. Go ahead, Tower. Do your attack. This thing is in front of you. Go ahead.
Okay, loading up the dice.
So that cost a PowerPoint just to do it. So okay.
I'm sure.
3D12, 1D10, 1D8, 1D6. That should be about right.
Very nice. Let's see here. I'll make a roll just because I want to see what it looks like. But you're looking at a 17. Good roll with a D12 kicker, unless you want to spend any points. If you want to spend power points, you need to do it now.
Yeah, I'll say that should be good, I would think. Maybe.
Yeah, 19's not bad. With a D12 kicker, it's very, very good. Let's see here. Then I will try to defend it. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. That's a lot of dice. I'm going because it's not showing on my side. I need to do something to get rid of because they're staying on the table, right? And it's not showing for me. You guys are seeing it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Oh, there it is. It came up. No, it came up. I see
In my
that.
screen, yeah, in my screen, they're staying there and they're hyperinflated.
Yeah, no.
Click the little broom up there. It'll make yours disappear, or a whole screen disappear, actually. But
yeah. I know. It's not displaying for me yet, though. It's taking a long time. It might be because there's 10 of them.
oh, shit.
Yeah, a lot. You've got the highest. You've got a 9, 8. You got a bunch of 7s. You got a 6, a 5, and 2 4s.
Why are you guys seeing it and I'm not? That's interesting.
I don't know.
Anyway, can I beat his 17?
You matched him.
I did match him. Okay. So Tower, if you want to get past it, you have two options. You could spend a hero dice, or you could just re-roll.
I would suggest the hero dice because a 9 and an 8 is going to be hard to match. Even with the 12s, that's still going to be.
Let me reset this. Oh, there we go. It finally came through. No, it didn't. Something else happened.
Tower, what are your hero dice sitting at?
I believe. I know for a fact I have 2D10. Let me pop it up though. I have D10, D8, D8, D12, and then I do 12.
Okay, well, I mean, you only need. I mean, you're really sitting at a tie right now. So
you have to beat him.
Yeah, either re-roll or use the hero dice. It's your choice.
Yeah, I would suggest
hero dice of
use
a
the hero
D8.
dice. All right.
I don't even see Tower in here. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
no,
he wasn't a second ago. Now he is.
Now.
Why is it still huge?
And
well,
one 8-sider. That's perfect.
Yeah, a 2.
So you use the hero dice, so he gets past it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to take that because your stress die is a D12 with that magic you just cast at this thing. However, this thing is almost completely immune to magic, and but you do manage to put a D4 stress on it. So everybody, keep in mind you have a D4 stress on the spawn moving forward. So now we come down to Osiris. Osiris understands the situation. He's less impulsive than Odin is, and what he does instead is GOP.
Yeah.
You glow in magic for a second, and what has happened is your accuracy, so your aim or whatever dice you use for that, is stepped up one.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So that would be. Would that be my guns then?
Sure.
Or
Yeah, whatever
okay.
your aim skill is, whatever. So guns. So your gun skill
Shoot.
steps up.
Yeah,
one.
shoot. Yeah, shoot. Essentially.
Shoot.
All right.
What was it before Osiris improved it?
Shoot was a D8.
D8. Too
So
bad it
now
wasn't
it is
a
a
D12. We would have had our first
And-
D20 in the game.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Dang.
built for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So it's a D10 now. So it's your turn.
yeah, I'm not gonna roll that high because I have 2d10 now, a D8 and 2d6.
Well, he just improved you though.
Yeah, no, I know. I would have only had 1d10. So,
And you get the D4. This thing does have a D4 stress on it.
Oh, okay.
Tower
That can
did
usually-
something to it, but Tower is a bit shocked how little damage he did to it though.
All right. Clear the local board then. So that is.
Oh, sorry.
10.
This is a minion. One dice is removed. No, it's not.
it?
It's not because it's not. The effect isn't enough. So the magic had his fire had no effect on it. Yeah, because it's a minion. I'm using it as a minion. So 0 effect.
I guess Tower, you're gonna have to use the sword. Just don't kill it with the sword.
Or I could hand him one of my axes and point him towards the pointy end.
Well, no, the swords sure work. And keep in mind, this is not a Atalani. This is an elder spawn.
Oh.
This is a Shoggoth, right? Anyway, please, GOP, do your thing.
All right. Wait, where's my? Oh, there they are. For some reason, the bottom ones weren't coming up. D8 and 2d6, and then there is no D4, right? That's a
no. Unfortunately, and because it's a minion, it's not an elite.
Okay. Well, you get a D10.
I know, and I'm happy
Good on
about
you.
it.
That's gonna be a 14 with a D10 effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Probably not good for you, but let's.
No.
The hell's going on?
Mr.
There we
Roll
go. Finally, it
a
worked.
million dice.
A million dice.
I get a
very
PowerPoint.
Nice. You get a PowerPoint, sir. And that poor 6-sider is having fits. Too many dice on the board. Yes, I know.
Because they're all still huge.
That's a
yeah.
10-sider. I mean, that's a PowerPoint. Sorry. And what did you have? You had a 14.
Yep, I did not make it.
And I have a 17. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
my
shoot
rolls
at
are-
it, and it hits it. Maybe this thing is rather slow, to be honest with you. It just doesn't have an effect. It bounces off its rubbery flesh as it makes noises and as it wants to chomp on you. So that brings us to Jaro.
It is my time.
It is.
Wah! Just run at was lunge, and super strength smack to the face. I'm even gonna let it do. I'm even gonna make myself squishy. I want to kill this thing. So let me. If I mess this up, I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh,
I'm so nervous. So
you're the
nervous.
only-
He's nervous.
You're really, at this point, the only major damage dealer we have in the party. Well, I mean, Tower can switch to Excalibur, and he'll still have a blade. but
Yeah, no, he'll do all the damage. He just won't do any of the bonus magical damage. This thing is the elders are rather immune to magic, not completely, but
Did I
they're
roll
Oh.
good?
quite
12s.
resistant.
dang,
Oh my god!
that wow,
Wow.
wow,
Okay, first of all, take an experience points for that.
How many?
wow.
One. All. Oh, did I roll all 12s? I can't see. They're so big.
You
You
rolled
rolled
There's
3
3
of them.
12s, 11, and an 8.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Jeez.
you get a but as you can see, an Atalani in motion that is not withered like the other two behind you. So you get an experience points for that because of that. Yeah, that's a perfect roll. So we're looking at a 12, a 24 with a kicker. Would you like to spend a PowerPoint to make that a 36?
Yes, I would.
Yes, I would do that
And
too. Yeah, 36
since
because I won't even bother rolling because I can't beat that. So you haul into this thing, and you're the any bonus because I don't really know offhand if your axes have any like electrical damage or something like that.
oh no, they just returned to me. They're
Okay, so
all ass kick.
therefore, in the field of the spawn, the star spawn, the axe's magic is not working in that way, so it will not return to you. But they're not. You didn't throw it anyway. But
Right.
that magic is not working. But the axes themselves do what they do. So you lay a D12 stress on this thing as you nearly cut it in half, dude. Uh, Brutal strike. But then again, you've killed a lot of these things, Jaro.
Mm-hmm.
You are well experienced in fighting this thing. So we could possibly take this thing down because it brings us to our last combatant, Lady.
What happened to Osiris?
Osiris already went. He buffed
Oh,
GOP.
okay. Yeah.
Your turn now. Keep in mind, Lady. You're one of the smarter ones in the party, right?
Right. Right.
That's kind of your thing. You've been
Mm-hmm.
paying attention here and seeing what's going
Yes.
on. You do get
Magic
an
doesn't work.
additional D to. Oh no, God! I keep doing that. It's a minion. I keep doing that. God damn it. You know, screw it. I'm not making it a minion because it's not the point. I'm going to
Okay.
just do what I'm doing with it. So yeah, it's a D12 stress in your favor. However, magic is not working on this thing. Your telekinesis is magic. What do you want to do?
Okay.
You did.
I could shoot it because this is where my experience went because I have a D10 with my shooting.
Do that.
I have, let's see, I already figured out a D8, a D8, a D10, a D6, and then a D12.
And then a D12. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me clear off everyone else's junk. Okay. A D12, a D10, 2 D8s. Oh, that was 3. How do you take one thing off? That's something. Start all over again. Okay. 12, 10, 8, 8. I think that's it.
Okay.
And then, no, wait, hang on. Yes, that's it.
Roll the dice.
I probably won't do very.
Roll the dice.
Mm-hmm. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Not
It's not horrible. It's a 13. Now, of course, I can certainly beat that. But
he's also been damaged too.
D10 effect.
Yeah, no, she wants to use the D12 to take it out. So you got a 12. If you spend a PowerPoint, you can make that a 17.
Yeah, I'll make it
You
17.
should do that. Let me make my roll and see what we need beyond that because this is an opportunity to one round this thing and not get a shot. Because trust me, yeah.
Well, good news, lady. You do get a PowerPoint. What,
Oh,
wait,
sounds like
why-
fireworks.
Why are there more of them?
I made a mistake. Yeah, it's not loading well for me on my side. I hit it twice by accident. I apologize.
Question, Mr. GM.
Go with the first one. Go with the first one, GOP. What is the
I'm sorry, I
second?
deleted it. So
First,
I
no,
don't-
I've got it on mine. The first one is an 18.
Okay. Is there any PowerPoints in there for her?
There is one.
Okay, so take a PowerPoint, lady, and use the hero dice.
I have a question,
Yep.
Mr. GM.
Yes.
Whenever I hit the thing, and you didn't roll because you couldn't beat it, does it still roll? Because there would be a chance I get a hero dice if it got a 1.
No, you're right. Okay. Take the second roll I made and use and apply it.
And there is a 1. So
Yeah, it's
you
not
do get
displaying
it.
for me. So, lady, roll a hero dice, and you will be able to win it. Because one thing you're noticing, Jaro, this is all happening in seconds, right? But
Right.
one thing you notice, Jaro, is this spawn is clearly weak and lethargic. You've killed many of these things during the Elder Wars. You killed thousands, maybe, right? And this thing is old and tattered. It's not at its full strength, and that's why I'm not applying any dice to it at all.
So y'all told me to shoot. I was going to use one of the bones down there to run it straight through it.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do, lady.
Okay.
Precisely what you were supposed to do.
If you can't
lady,
see it,
what you
Yes.
need to do, lady, is listen to me and roll a hero dice. I know you
She
have
did.
I rolled
58,000
it.
of them.
I rolled
Okay.
a 4. No,
Thank
I
you.
only have 3.
Okay.
Now I have 2.
And did you get any hero dice off the second roll there, Puffin?
I couldn't see what the results were.
No. He off the one that you said you were contesting with, that one he does get 1 hero dice.
Okay,
Is it
so
a D10 or a D12?
a D10. D10
It
hero
does,
dice.
yeah.
Give me D10.
Okay.
All right. So this all happens in a frantic thing. Odin kind of does what he normally does, but it was the wrong move. Tower, I forget what Tower did. What did Tower do?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fireball.
You should have got 2 hero dice. My bad.
Yeah.
I messed that up.
Tower, let me bring it back over this side because that thing isn't working. It should be displaying for me. Too many dice. It's confused on my side. However, Tower's magic had no effect on it, which really was a bit scary. But then Jaro ran in and nearly cleaved the thing in half. GOP took a wild shot. It bounced off it, unfortunately, and Lady's shot hit it right in the eye. And this thing sputters, makes more weird sounds, lashing out. You guys are ducking, and its body falls down on this mound and rolls back into the darkness, dead. Now, this is interesting to you because, to Jaro particularly, because, like I said, he's fought many of these things. You guys have never seen one before, right? Matter of fact, in your training, you never even talked about it. Now, when you were kids, maybe for instance, GOP's character, maybe you read some Lovecraft, so you kind of know what these things are, but you didn't know that you thought they were complete fantasy. You didn't know they were real, right? But this thing was extremely weakened. What does that mean? You're not sure. However, Odin and Osiris quickly move over to the mound and start digging through the dirt. And they come to what's, I'm assuming you guys help, they come to what seems to be a crystalline egg. And Osiris is going to do a spell to try to unlock it, and Odin just stomps it. As Odin does.
Should I stomp it with my super strength?
No. Odin's got it. This is all narrative. So they're able to crack it open, and you guys are over there with him, and they're able to pull out the incredibly frail body of Ea, the Oberon.
Well, I don't think. I mean, maybe you can like wear him like a backpack.
You could. Yeah.
Since Hera knows where we are,
she does know where you are. Yes, she does. Yeah.
So maybe that transfer to the Oberon might not be such a bad idea. maybe give him a little bit of my regeneration.
It could kill you.
It could kill you.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Seriously.
Mm,
The reason because you never take that off, right?
true.
That's not something you take off, and you don't know what'll happen to that.
Using a tricorder, see what I could do, if I can do anything, since I'm a medical
There's
person too.
nothing you
I
can
don't
do in this
think this
situation.
is-
However, you guys know that Sidon knows how to deal with it.
Tower disappeared.
Yeah. Well, it is after
It is
time to
after,
go.
so and we'll leave. That's a
But he's
perfect
not
cliffhanger.
working now, is he?
It's okay.
Oh,
It's the
cliffhanger.
perfect
Okay.
cliffhanger to leave it
Mhm.
on. We have unified with the elder gods, who are not the bad guys. They're the good guys. Well, they're not the bad guys. Let's put it that way. And you have you have now gotten Oberon. Oberon is now literally in Osiris's arms, and boy, does he look bad. Matter of fact, other than that blinking eye, you don't know what to say about it. But it's pretty bad. And that's where we're going to leave it. So, first things first. Any questions?
No. I mean, I'm sure if there's something I have a misgiving about, then it'll bite me in the ass at some point in the future. So
I'm
just
sure
wait
it
for it.
will. Yeah, yeah. The snake in the toilet, as it were. Anybody else? No.
Nope. I think we're good.
You're in trouble, mister.
All right.
I mean, wish I could find my Jero's kids, that squad.
Yes, you should put that together later. You should. Well, maybe we'll see how things go. But it is very interesting because when you went and you found Odin and Osiris, Hera certainly didn't know where you were. But as soon as you stepped onto Greek territory, she was on you immediately, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's she must have been the one that put him here anyway, right?
Mhm.
You're assuming, or one of her minions. But nevertheless, thank you all very much. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. It's Today was a big day, a day I've been waiting for a while in the storyline, to kind of give out the crux of what's going on. It's all kind of mostly out now. We know what's happening. We know the backstories, and that's always cool because we're definitely deep into the third act now, right? But anyway, come on back next week. And as we continue this, because we are getting into the final hours of this campaign's arc, and see what happens. Other than that, you all have yourself a good week. I'll see you on Night Owls on Sunday. And
Before we go, one last thing. Important question: how much XP we get?
7.
All right. Copy that down. Now we can go. All
now
right.
we can go. Okay. Later, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.